Hey beautiful soul, welcome back to another pick a card reading here on the channel. My name is Natalie. If you are new, welcome to Be a Free Spirit. And on this channel, we focus on self-development, self-awareness, bringing your unconscious to the light, really digging in to get to know yourself. Today's video is the ultimate self-love reading, okay? It is extremely important that you develop your self-love and that you continue to always consistently work on your self-love, because the truth of the matter is you want to get to know yourself as deeply as you can, but self-love is the foundation to everything that you will do in your life. We're focusing on 4 areas in this reading. We have physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So these are 4 different areas that will kind of tell you basically what you need to be focusing on, what foundations you need to be building, and that's what this reading is going to provide. With February being a month before the springtime, this is a time to start planting those seeds, right? Start planting those self-love seeds, planting those foundations. So when spring comes, you'll have these new seeds that are ready to sprout and ready to propel you forward and ascend you further into your spiritual journey, okay? So really wanted to focus on the self, okay, and the self-love. So we have a lot of cards here. So I decided not to do crystals this time. So I want you to really pay attention to the image and see what speaks to you personally. You might have to take, some time to really meditate and see what pile you're drawn to, which is completely fine. I'm gonna offer a meditation as well. Just a few disclaimers. If there's anything in this reading that doesn't resonate with you, it could be that message wasn't meant for you. This is a collective reading, so please keep that in mind, as well as if you are directed to more than one pile, it's definitely okay to choose more than one pile. Just let your intuition guide you, okay? That's all you really need. Your intuition knows exactly what's up, so just allow it to guide you. So I will be pulling some self-care oracle cards live for each, section, right? So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and see what self-care you can focus on to help build that self-love foundation, okay? So without wasting any time, let's jump straight into the pile selection and then the meditation as well. Okay, so here we have the 4 groups then. So this is group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. As usual, I'm gonna go ahead and give you 30 seconds to meditate with those piles, and then we'll jump straight into the reading and not waste any time. All right, hopefully that gave you guys a moment to meditate with those piles. We're just gonna jump straight into the reading, starting with group number 1. Timestamps are listed down below. All right, group number 1, welcome to your reading. Before we jump into the reading, we're just gonna go ahead and light some incense. This is abundance incense. So we're gonna connect to the abundance frequency, which is the love frequency. It's allowing all this beauty to come into your life, right? So you want to get that frequency really going in this reading. So as you're gaining this awareness into these different foundations and where you want to build upon, you'll be able to be receiving those blessings and guidance and help from the universe, okay? So we're just gonna go ahead and set that. Set the intention to connect to the abundance frequency, to bring in the universe's help to really guide that flame. Really guide and helping you build these self-love foundations, okay? Cool. Beautiful. And then I'll just put that over here. Okay, let's not waste any time. So you chose this beautiful heart with the beautiful butterflies, lots of freedom. So we're gonna go ahead and put that right here so you can still see that. Okay. So as I mentioned, we have quite a few cards here and the 4 different sections. So we have, first we're gonna start with physical, then we're gonna go to mental, emotional, and then spiritual, okay? So I wanna talk a little bit about physical. So a little bit about the physical. I want to kind of preface that this isn't necessarily just your physical body. It can be, we're gonna see what the cards have to say, but this is just kind of everything that would have to do with physical foundations, right? So that could be times that you wake up, meditating, all kinds of different things. It's just things that have to do with your physical body and the foundations that are needed to assist in your ascension, okay? So let's start with the tarot cards and see what's going on. Okay, so we have the Star in reverse, Rebirth in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, and the King of Cups in reverse. Okay, physically, I'm seeing a lot of water. So in that case, hydration is going to be a very important foundation for you. So if that's something, you know, that your water intake is not where it needs to be, maybe you drink too much tea or other beverages, our body needs water, right? And the fact that you have 3 cards here and they're all in the reverse, especially with the Star, that's all, you know, to do with flowing water, kind of flowing, right? And so I feel like your body is really feeling dehydrated. So make sure that you're going to focus on getting your water intake up for this physical foundation of your self-care that you need to focus on, okay? The Rebirth card in reverse, I feel like, yeah, your body, you're going through a lot of rebirths as you're on your spiritual journey, right? You're constantly going to be going through rebirths, changes. It's part of the ascension process. But with it being in reverse, your body needs you to be able to keep up with it, right? And that's why I feel like the water is the most important thing here, because there's 3 water cards, like 3 water cards here, right? And so I feel like if you want your body basically to keep up with your ascension, make sure that you're giving the water foundation the care that it needs, okay? Because connecting with water is also such an important part of keeping everything healthy. So it's an important foundation that will support you in all the other areas as well. It's not just a physical thing. But I'm feeling like you're dehydrated, so work on your water foundation. But physically, that's all that seems to be what Spirit is kind of bringing to your attention. But let's jump into some oracle cards. We have Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace. Okay, so with the physical world, practicing gratitude is really important. And again, why this kind of fits into the physical is because, especially when you're going with the abundance frequency, which obviously we've just connected to, it's important to practice gratitude when it comes to the abundance frequency. So as you're going to be building these foundations, practice gratitude, because it's still a physical thing that you could do. That's going to be an important foundation, is practicing your gratitude, okay? And then we have the Cat Spirit, claim your independence. Okay, so physically, again, now we're kind of moving away from what the body needs and now focusing on just some other physical things. Independently, your environment, right? So you could work from home or like whatever the case is, but there's something in your life, there's a foundation where you need a little bit more independence. That's what cats are all about, right? Is independence, kind of homebodies. So you need to figure out a balance in your life where you can have a little bit more independence and alone time, right? So whether that's at work, you need to figure out some more independence, or you need to figure out independence at home. Maybe you just need to change your environment in general, right? You need to live alone, maybe, whatever the situation is, let your intuition guide you. But that's a foundation that you need to have the balance of independence as well as being involved with people, right? Because as you're working on self-love foundations, spending time with yourself is essential. So I think Spirit is pushing you to really get into this independent mode. It's not that you can't communicate, right? And you have to be a hermit. That's not what this is saying. But you definitely need to work on having more independence in your life. We have Snake Spirit, time to heal. Yeah, physically, your body is going through a healing process, I think. And so especially with the water, your body needs water in order to rebirth, right? In order to heal itself. Water is essential. So it's as your body is healing and you're shedding, and again, we are kind of talking about rebirth as you're going through your ascension process. You're gonna go through a lot of different growth cycles. So it's important to have these foundations in place. So make sure that if you do have time, if you have things you need to heal from physically, then take the time to do that, because it's important to take care of your body. That's part of listening to your intuition, is listening to your body, okay? And then we have the Nightingale Spirit, love is all around. Yeah, so I think, you know, in the physical sense, recognizing that, you know, maybe you're currently single or whatever the case is, or feeling lonely, and you know, physically that can really take a drain. See, the thing is all these foundations really tie into each other, right? So our thoughts, our emotions, those can really tie into how we feel physically. So when you're in this, you know, gratitude mindset and this love mindset, that affects your body as well. So physically, your spirits, you know, your spirit guides just want you to be aware and remember that love is all around you. So allow that to fill, you know, you physically feel the love, you know, whatever you need to do to really connect to this. Maybe that is gratitude journal, and that is just like the way to connect to that. Okay, so physically, this is the foundation you need to work on, which really is not too bad, right? Just get your water up, and there's lots of ways to get your water up. You know, if you don't like water, you know, you have a hard time drinking water throughout the day, then get something like Crystal Light, right? Or something, or lemon water, or whatever the case is. But this is a foundation that your guides really want you to focus on with 3 water cards, okay? So make sure that you're working on that, because you're gonna go through so much growth. Allow your body to heal from these things, right? Allow yourself to heal. And if you need sleep, whatever you need, listen to your intuition, your physical body, okay? Cool. So now let's pull a self-care card around this physical. So we already know water is the one thing, but let's see if there's anything else self-care specifically that your guides recommend that you focus on when it comes to physical, if there's anything else. What does group 1 need to focus on physically with self-care? Yeah. And look at that, we have journal. Okay, yeah, exactly. So that's what that is, right? Is love is all around, gratitude. So journal that, because that's still a physical thing, right? In the physical world, because that's gonna bring you all of this abundance and changes in mindset and helping your ascension if you're making that a foundation, making that a habit, right? So that, I think, is perfect. Okay, so now let's jump into the mental. So the mental can be a little bit more of the trickier one, because your mental is where, you know, your unconscious lives. And the hard thing about your unconscious is if you need to spend time recognizing it, because once you're able to do that, again, we're bringing that unconsciousness to the light, and that's really what it's about, is you're working on your consciousness. You're being able to see these darker parts of your brain that most people never ever see in their whole life, right? And I just say see by using your third eye, right? You see, no, that's an old habit, that's not happening, right? So that's what it's about. So as I mentioned, you know, your thoughts really can affect all of these other areas of your life. Your thoughts manifest your reality. So you want to be very careful with your thoughts. So building foundations around healthy thoughts, being able to work through your, you know, your basically your trails, right, of thoughts, being able to work through anxieties, fears, all these kind of stuff, right? Things that just go in your head all the time. Being able to work with those is gonna help you throughout your ascension process. So let's see what you can focus on mentally. Okay, we have 3 of Cups. Yeah, I think you need to spend more time celebrating. You don't have enough fun, and you don't, okay, actually because there's gonna be a lot of cards, I'm just gonna move these to the side because I want everything to be clear section by section. And I'll kind of just put that like that so you kind of remember. But 3 of Cups. Okay, so you need to have more fun. You need to celebrate more. You need to let loose a little bit, right? That's definitely what your spirit guides want you to know. That's an important foundation because it's balance. It's being able to have fun and being able to work hard, right? When necessary. So allow your thoughts to include more fun, right? Laughter, whatever the case is, allow yourself to be able to have more fun, because allowing your thoughts to go towards a fun mindset, right? Being able to look at memes or whatever the case is, right? To direct your thoughts to being happy and cheerful is definitely going to manifest a lot of positive frequency, right? It's going to raise your frequency because you're focusing on joy. You're focusing on the present moment, okay? We have 5 of Swords. Yeah, so, you know, maybe you are kind of strategic in you know, areas of your life. You tend to be kind of self-focused, which is not a bad thing, right? This is the self-love reading, but it's important to have grace. And I saw that in one of your other cards. So with this 5 of Swords, you know, you spend a lot of time, it seems like, maybe kind of being like me. And your guides want you to know that you need to have a balanced foundation, okay? So you need to have a foundation where it's like, yes, you need to care about you, but don't step on other people to do it, right? Because those are the way that your thoughts are happening, is you kind of think about, how can this benefit me? And that's not a foundation you want, because you're not truly serving your soul purpose if you're only thinking about yourself. Having compassion is one of the most important things you can do for your soul, okay? So building the foundation of being more generous, and I'm kind of feeling the sense, and I don't mean generous with money, I'm feeling the sense more just don't be so scared to open up to people, right? Like, there also could be people, now looking at this card, people who mentally maybe drain you as well. And that could be the case. Like, there could be people around you who also kind of maybe help you participate in these negative thought patterns, or these negative behaviors that cause these thought patterns of, you know, maybe deceit or trying to step on people to win, right? That could just be something that I'm hearing. So take it as it resonates, but building this harmony of caring about yourself, but not getting involved in situations that cause your thoughts to skew, so that you become so self-focused where you don't care enough about the outside world, okay? So foundation of that. And then we also have the King of Wands. Okay. So mentally, I think you keep a lot inside, right? And this card is, you know, the King of Wands is definitely someone who communicates, right? Wands is all about passion. Wands is all about, let's go, right? And so you, I think, want to communicate more of your vision. You want to just communicate more in general. And so your guides are saying, build the foundation of, start allowing your thoughts to actually come out, right? Like, start communicating your thoughts, because I think that's an important part, is you hold back a lot. And, you know, that could have something to do, I mean, all of these are kind of fitting together, right? Like, you maybe hold back a lot intellectually. Maybe you fear that your thoughts, you know, or your ideas are not going to be accepted. But you need to have more fun and kind of have a lighter side of life, right? Allow yourself to dance with these angels, and don't surround yourself with people who make you feel basically trapped, kind of, right? Make you resort to some of these negative mindsets. I think that's kind of what Spirit's saying here. And you need to communicate what you want, okay? Those are foundations that you need to build, because again, you're ascending to your soul, right? And so these are things that your soul possesses that you are just remembering and uncovering, basically, right? That's the idea of building these foundations, is unlocking more of your unconscious so you can work closer with your soul. Yeah, we have 5 of Wands, conflicts of others. So that's kind of what I was feeling like originally, right? Like, I think you're worried about maybe what people are going to think of your ideas. And so your thoughts they're not negative right now, but they're not helping you in a positive way, right? Some of your thoughts, you're winning these games or whatever the case is, right? You're participating in these things where it's like you're a leader, and maybe this group or whatever the case is. Yeah, and mentally also, what I'm catching as I really kind of sat here for a minute is you have a lot of ambition, right? Your thoughts are really firing off. So mentally, you have a lot of thoughts, you have a lot of direction, you have a lot of passion. And that's the thing, is you're not being heard. And that makes sense with some of the blue here as well, which would be your throat chakra. And so it's really advised that you maybe step away from this, just at least situation that maybe encourages your thoughts to go towards a more negative route, right? And start having more, and stop caring about what other people are going to think about your ideas, right? And you go with your ideas because you have to. You're a leader with the King of Cups, right? Or with the King of Wands. You're meant to be a leader. You're ambitious. So allow it to be so, and don't allow your thoughts to go towards caring about what other people think, because that's just creating a reality of that fear base is coming to fruition, right? And you don't want that to be the case. So start focusing on these foundations of allowing your thoughts to be heard, okay? Kind of digging a little bit more, we have peaceful among thorns. Yeah, exactly. Like, you need to build the foundation of having that balance, right? And being graceful and being compassionate. And because it seems like, your thoughts can get thorny, with this, right? And it's hard, because mine do too, I get it. But your thoughts can get really thorny, with this kind of picture, right? You can see there's just like a lot of stuff in the background, but this person is at peace. And the thing is if you know that you deal with maybe anxiety or racing thoughts where you're just consistently thinking and it's hard to change your thought patterns, maybe when they're going down a negative route towards yourself, right? You need to find a place to be at peace with your thoughts so that and again, I think that's having fun and practicing gratitude and really focusing on these mindsets, right? I think will help you feel more at peace and accepting yourself. I think, yeah, that's like a big part of it. And then we have, is this me? Yeah, see, I think you have all these kind of, you're very conflicted with your thoughts right now. Just with everything going on. I think there's a lot going on in your head right now. This, maybe it's these people you're hanging out with. I want to keep saying people, but this image may not resonate to you directly, but it's more so about, I do feel like it's someone in your life who causes you to feel negatively, okay? It could be, I feel like it's a friend, could be a relationship, but I just feel like someone in your life really doesn't allow you to be your King of Wands. They don't allow you to say your thoughts, or you're scared, right? But I still feel like there's someone in your life who really negatively kind of puts you on this mindset of feeling like, I don't know who I am, right? Like, is this me? Do I do this? This doesn't feel like me, but I don't know. Like, am I a leader? Is this me? I don't know. Like, you just kind of seem like you're in a conflicting area right now where you're kind of not sure, right? Mentally. And so Obsession. Okay, yeah. So there could be, you know, an obsession towards, I feel like it's this card. I keep being directed to this card. So I think this is like a very big foundation here, is getting yourself into a more balanced environment, like mindset. I think your environment, something about your environment causes, that's why I feel like I'm so tongue-tied. I'm so tongue-tied. I think it's your throat chakra. Makes sense, but I just feel like I can't say the words that I'm looking for. Yeah, something about this situation where there's something in your life that causes you to not believe in yourself, right? And causes you to think differently. Is this me? Is this really what I want to focus on? And so the foundations here is to figure out, you know, what this obsession is. Because yeah, this obsession could be this maybe, as they call it, like your id, your ego is being fulfilled here. Maybe it's through gambling. Maybe it's through something that doesn't allow these ideas to come to fruition. They just get pushed to the back of your head, right? And so whatever this obsession is, heal through that, right? Heal through that and let it go, because you don't need that foundation, and build the foundation of figure out who you are then. Because if this is what you're consciously, unconsciously always telling yourself, is questioning yourself, then you're never going to truly feel like you know what you want or what direction to go. Your head is always going to feel like, right? And that's one of the most important foundations, is to build those mental ones. So you need to really reflect on, who do you want to be? Because again, remember, your thoughts manifest your reality. So if you really spend time thinking about where you want to go, then you're starting to manifest with that intention, right? So then follow it. So I think that's a big foundation that your guides are asking of you, is to figure out what you want, and cut out people or situations or obsessions that do not serve this new idea, because you're meant to be a leader and you're meant to bring a lot of ambition and ideas, and you're not allowing yourself to be heard. Okay, so find out what your ambitions are, and then you speak your truth. You go after what you want. Okay, fire energy, go after what you want. Okay, so I mean, as we've kind of talked about already so far with, you know, your physical body, right? We talked about kind of give gratitude and grace, right? And so it's like there's a lot of balance that is needed, and it's more balance within yourself, right? So it's balance of having more fun and not being so serious, but also allowing yourself to be ambitious. I know it feels like a lot, but, and I would be writing these things down, because really analyzing, you know, what this means to you. Take these foundations and change your life, because you can. You have all the power to do so, okay? So I hope this gives you some clarity on the mental side. We'll pull a self-care card to see how you can help, kind of just with your thoughts, right? Help you feel more at peace, peaceful among thorns. What self-care can group 1 focus on to help them feel more at peace? I mean, I just followed them. I was gonna go with just 3, but that's okay. Ha, look at that. We have positive affirmations. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, as you're figuring out who you want to be, give yourself positive affirmations for what you do love about yourself, right? Because you have a lot of stuff to love about yourself, right? You're a very ambitious person. It seems like you're very kind as well, with all the people that appear, you know, but there's kind of needing, actually, I want to go back to this independence card. Because claim your independence, right? Claim your independence from this situation. Give yourself positive affirmations that you know that you're amazing. So allow yourself to be heard, okay? I think that's kind of just something I want to see with that card. We have beauty ritual. Yeah, so whatever makes you feel beautiful, okay? Whether that is putting on makeup, painting your nails, you know, doing your hair, whatever that is for you personally, it will make you feel kind of in your power again, right? Bring out that divine feminine energy and allow it to really channel, because it helps with this fire energy. Allowing your divine energy to really, your divine feminine energy to really come through brings this Wands energy, because then your soul is pushing you forward, right? Because you're nourishing, you're taking care of yourself, you're treating your soul, you're treating yourself, okay? So beauty ritual, take a bath, whatever you want to do. Connect with crystals. I also see crystals here too, so I feel like crystals are definitely important. I would do some research into some crystals. Rose quartz, of course, is a great one for self-love. Universal love is really important, but there's a lot of healing crystals out there. So I would do some research and really figure out which crystals call to you to help you assist in these healings and help you assist with these kind of mindsets, right? Look for crystals that can assist with that, because that's what they're saying will help you, the self-care that you need, that will help your mindset and make you feel at peace. Connect with crystals that make you feel peaceful. So maybe finding one that can help absorb negative energy, right? So black tourmaline, garnet, lots of different ones out there, right? So figure out what calls to you. But I think that's what they're saying. Mentally, the foundations you need to work on. And remember, working on your mental foundations is probably the hardest one because of your unconscious brain. Our being human is such an extraordinary gift, but the brain is extremely complex, okay? The unconscious is very complex, and we as humans, never really figure it out sometimes. So when you have the awareness to try to work on it consistently, then you're really changing your brain, and you can change these thought patterns easily, okay? So you'll get there. Be patient with yourself and compassionate, but that hopefully gives you some awareness into the mental side. Let's go into the emotional side now, okay? So let's see the emotional foundations that you need to work on. We have the Hermit in reverse. Oops, excuse me, that's that way. We have Strength in reverse, Page of Cups, and Four of Wands. Yeah, so the Hermit, it's in reverse because emotionally, you're just feeling, emotionally, I think you're just giving to so many people, right? Like you're giving to so many people, and you can't. Like the Four of Wands, right? Like, you need to turn inward now with the Hermit card and the Strength card, right? You need to turn inward, and that's what the Hermit is all about, is turning inward, going on the journey of yourself. And the fact that the Hermit came out is the most important card here, because I think that is what is so needed, because it's coming up with the cat too, right? Like this need for independence, but turning yourself inward is needed for you emotionally, okay? Because there's a lot that you're just dealing with, and I think you deal with a lot of self-doubt, right? Like a lot of negative self-talk that is coming through, that comes from your emotions, right? And so that's the thing, is you go inward so that you can find your strength, because your strength is there. It 100% lies within you, okay? It completely exists. That's why this card is here. So allow it to come forward by going inward, okay? Build this foundation of allowing yourself to go into a hermit mode so that you can find your strength. And your Four of Wands, there'll be time to celebrate, and things will be exciting once you focus on you, okay? So the emotional foundation is really just to go inward, to stop giving so much of your emotional energy to other people, okay? Lots of just inwardness, which is totally fine. Let's keep going. We have Hold Your Vision. Yeah, so emotionally, I think you have a vision as far as what you want, how you want to feel about yourself, right? Maybe you've thought about that. Maybe there's other people that you've been like, oh, I wish I felt that way about myself, or I wish I thought that way, or whatever the case is. Hold that vision of, again, how you want to feel about yourself and how you want your life to be. Hold that vision and allow your emotions to fill into it, right? The happiness. Hold the vision of the great potential and dream big, because your thoughts will manifest your reality, okay? So hold your ambitious visions, hold your your dreams. Just hold all of that positive emotions towards all of the things that excite you. Hold it. Hold the vision, okay? We have surrender to the divine. Yeah, absolutely. So emotionally, your guides want you to surrender, okay? They're here to help heal you through basically every avenue here, right? They're helping you along this whole journey, which is why they've given you so many beautiful insights and messages, but they want you to surrender, go into this hermit mode and pray to them, speak to them, surrender, and just say, I need help. I want to build these healthy foundations because I want to be my best self. So please allow me to go inward and help guide me on how I can change these mindsets, how I can create my ultimate happiness. Ask for their help, okay? We have your hard work is paying off. Yeah, so you've already put a lot of hard work into your self-love foundations, okay? So the thing is this is just giving you insights into what you still can work on. And this is always an ongoing battle, an ongoing basically job, right? Because we need to, as we're ascending and growing, as I've mentioned, we'll have to reassess these foundations and see if they're still serving us, right? So the work that you've already put into yourself is paying off. Don't feel like, oh, I've already done some self-work though, or I've done it here and here and I've put a lot of work into it here. It's still paying off, okay? These are just other foundations that need to be in place for you to reach the next level, okay? Step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, so for your comfort zone personally, I feel like you're a very social person. So, you know, you could be an extrovert and you get energized by other people's energy, right? And if that's the case, you know, you're being encouraged to step out of that comfort zone and go inward, and being, you know, an extrovert and being in the hermit mode could be difficult for you, but it's really necessary right now to kind of go into that comfort zone, and it will be challenging, but you're not alone, okay? So remember that, surrender to the divine and ask for their help because you're not alone. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so emotionally, that's pretty good, right? All that is required emotionally is that you just go inward and see your potential. That's more what it is, because when you go inward and you start giving yourself gratitude and you start giving yourself affirmations, then you're able to really recognize more about yourself, right? And learn to truly love who you are, okay? Okay, what self-care can group 1 focus on when it comes to the emotional side? Thank you, Spirit. Just seeing if there's any others. Don't think so. Okay, we have connect with your ancestors. Wow. Okay, so the hermit mode, I think I'm really feeling like you're a pretty social person. So being alone and acting like a cat, right? Being independent, truly being a hermit where you're truly alone physically, might be difficult, but you're not alone, okay? That is just an illusion where physically it looks like you're alone, but it's an illusion because you have your guides, you have your ancestors who are here with you. And so emotionally, to help you build this strength, I'm hearing you need to connect with your ancestors, which is a really beautiful thing, because connecting with your ancestors, you'll be able to see the strength that they possessed in the past, right? And then you actually realize how special and amazing you are, okay? So connect with your ancestors, ask your guides for help on how to do that. There's tons of amazing meditations. I actually have an ancestors reading on my channel, so I'll post that if you're interested, but you'll know how to connect and talk to your ancestors. So, but I think that's going to be a really important part for helping build this emotional foundation, because being able to connect with your ancestors and see how amazing you are, I think is, and I know I just repeated that, but I think it's because that's a very important part of this, is realizing how amazing you are and where you came from, right? Kind of taking back that power, that strength to see how amazing you truly are, okay? So there's that. Beautiful. And then lastly, we have spiritually, the foundations, you know, that you could work on. Okay, we have Seven of Cups in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, King of Cups in reverse, and Queen of Crystals. It's interesting that you have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, right? Two Queen cards too. Okay, so spiritually what I think you need to focus on is your divine feminine energy. And I say that because you have two queen cards here, excuse me. Plus, this card, the Strength card, really stood out to me, and I want to pull it out because I think it's really tying into this. So these two queen cards, there's a lot of divine feminine energy here. And what really stood out to me is the cats. So, because what's, you know, as we talked about earlier, I want to pull that card out too. See, this is when you have so many cards, it just gets messy to have them all spread out. Okay. So we had that cat card, right? And the Strength card as well. We have another cat, right? They're all three different cats, so that's, or I mean all four different cats, but three big different cats. Lion, you know, jaguar, tiger, right? Could be a cheetah, I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Regardless, what I'm seeing here is there is really, spiritually, there's a huge need for this independence of really diving into your divine feminine energy, because there's, you know, there's these powerful women. The Strength card, the queen, right? And they're independent. There's nothing else around them besides a cat. Maybe you have a cat. If you don't, maybe get a cat. That could be something that might be part of maybe a guide, right? Or something like that. But it definitely seems like cats are pretty prevalent in this reading. So if you don't like cats, that's fine. But if you do, think about getting a cat. That could be something that will help you feel kind of divine energy, right? Because cats are kind of like, you know, they're I mean, people use them to be like the cat eyes, right? Like there is a divine feminine energy to cats. So getting a cat could help. If not, it's about just the energy of the cat, right? Of the independence. And I think that's the biggest thing here, is that all of these cards have cats, really symbolizing that independence, symbolizing that inner strength that you get from being a hermit within yourself. Okay, so spiritually, this is a foundation that is really needed, is diving into your divine feminine energy by being alone. Okay, and that doesn't mean if you're in a relationship or something like that, it's not that you have to go you know, break up or anything like that. All that this is more saying is being alone in just a sense of kind of go within, right? And just shut down a little bit and allow your energy to be fed within. Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to shut off everybody. It's just kind of more what that means. So I think that's what the Queen of, you know, the two Queens cards are saying, you know, and just being in reverse, your divine feminine energy is just waiting to explode. So King of Cups, right? Like, and still there's water cards here. So besides drinking water, connecting with bodies of water as well, swimming could be a big thing, taking baths as well. Like physically, I think your body needs water. So drinking more water is going to be very important, especially with the Cups cards here. Now that's what I'm just coming through really strong. But just connecting with water is going to be really is important with your spirituality, because I'm getting that with these Cups cards, because you have 3 Cups. I can't believe how much water energy. You could be a water sign, but just in general, water energy. And see, I just think it's just you need to go through a healing period. Your soul is ready to go through a healing moment, and that's when those hermit modes really come to fruition. Okay, so I hope that makes sense with all of those cards. So yeah, lots of Cups cards, focus on water, really connecting with water, drinking water, right? So, because spiritually, that divine energy is really waiting to come out, and connecting with water and the moon is where you can really connect to that divine energy. Okay, let's look at lastly, let's look at the Oracle cards then for your your spiritual foundations. We have the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Yeah, I feel like there's things that you need to let go of, right? This obsession card, like we saw earlier. There's things that you need to let go of spiritually that are no longer serving you. So it could be people in your life that were karmics, take it as it resonates, but spiritually you need to cut cords energetically. You'll know what that is. And if you don't know what that is right now, when you go inward, you will, okay? It's definitely what I'm hearing. I'm not meant to dive super deep into that. This is something that your guides can also help with, but severing, specifically cord cutting, okay? Energetic cord cutting, okay? And then we have transformation. Yeah, see, deep healing. So and there was another transformation card here as well. Where was that? Rebirth, yeah, right there. Right? Like rebirth, transformation, like you are going through a transformation right now. You've probably already had your tower moment recently, and that's why there's a need for healing, right? If not, it doesn't particularly matter, but there's just a big need spiritually for deep healing, okay? So that you can transform and ascend to the next level of where you need to get to. So building the foundation of just knowing when you need to do some deep healing, okay? Be conscious and aware of that. Take a break. Get off the treadmill, right? Like, yeah, exactly. Inward, focusing on you, focusing on peace, focusing on just being. Spiritually, that is like the biggest thing you need to learn for sure. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords. Dang, look at that, the great severing. Okay, so yeah, there's an energy cord that you need to cut, and I think it has something to do with yeah, something to do with this. This situation is something, okay, and I don't quite know. I think you're meant to know, right? So know you're protected. So these people can't destroy you or anything in the sense of your energy or anything like that. Nothing permanent, but it's just there's energy cords that cause, again, these negative mindsets that are connected to people or a situation. So you need to cut the cords, okay? And kind of soul retrieval in a sense, get your soul back, but not really, right? But just connect back to your soul, connect back to love and peace and everything that is needed, okay? So, but know that you're protected. That's definitely clear. No one can take advantage of you, but you have allowed energies to kind of come into your field, right? By connecting with these people. And so, or the situation or this obsession, whatever it is for you, you need to cut the cord energetically, okay? So ask for your guides, assistants, and your ancestors as well, because they can help you cut those cords if you're not sure how to do that. The full moon is usually the most helpful with cutting cords, a cutting cord ceremony. So the next full moon, I think, is next week, or no, that's new moon. Yeah, the next full moon is in a couple weeks, but think about that, right? That might be the perfect timing, as there is a lot of moons here as well, which is, you know, there's one right here, right there, right? So that's why I'm saying that. I think the next few weeks, as you're unpacking all of this, right? Because this is a lot of information. As you're unpacking this in your head and you're like, okay, what do I want my life to look like? What foundations do I need to figure out, right? As you kind of unpack all this information and really figure out how you want to do it for yourself, you'll have all the information you'll need to be able to cut the cords when the new moon happens, or when the next full moon happens, okay? So don't freak out too much. You're like, because a cord cutting ceremony is, you'll become aware of what it is that you need to work on, right? What it is that you need to cut out of your life energetically. So you'll get that awareness as you go through this process, okay? So don't worry too much. Be patient. Everything happens in divine timing, and everything will come to you as it needs to be, okay? We have warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, that's the thing, is your soul is extremely powerful, right? You have all of these ambitions and you have all these things that you want to do. And so allow this warrior woman to unleash, to come out, connecting to your divine energy, right? Divine feminine energy. That's really what this is. Makes me think of like Wonder Woman, right? Like connecting to your divine energy and figure out what you want, not what other people want for you. What do you want, right? I think Uncle Iroh said that from Avatar, right? Like, stop. It's not about like what other people want. It's what do you want? Okay, like, I know it's not. What do you want? I think that's the most important thing. The great gathering, it's all coming together. They said it, intuitive hits, right? So these foundations, spiritually, everything is happening as it needs to be. And I think that's what they want to make clear. Is I know all of this feels heavy and these insights can be a lot to hear, where it's like, oh, I have so much to focus on, but consider it a gratitude, a gift of awareness, of insight. Because now that you have this insight, you can take it and change your life, right? Like, you have the insight and the self-will and the power to change your reality. Okay, lastly, let's then pull some self-care cards on how you can do some self-care through your spirituality. I really feel like a bath is probably gonna be an important one if that doesn't come out. I already feel it. The self-care disc group. One to focus on for their spirituality. Okay, thank you. We have build strength. Look at that. And I love this because the third eye, right? Like, and I see that there's been third eyes in some of these images. And so the warrior woman is kind of more where this connects to me, is connecting to your spirituality, building strength, right? And it doesn't have to be, you know, lifting weights. Building strength can be from a lot of different areas, but connecting to your body, right? Connecting to yourself is connecting to your divine energy. So whatever way you like to move your body that makes you feel maybe like kind of sexy or strong, whatever it is, that's what this is saying, okay? Self-care to help your soul heal is to really make yourself channel this warrior woman energy that's within you, okay? Oh my God, yes, right? Did I not say that? If this card doesn't come out, I know it's there. Like, take a bath spiritually, really, like, yeah, water, right? Connecting to your divine energy can be done through water. There's also a moon here. So, you know, with your cutting cord ceremony, I probably recommend doing a special bath right after your cord cutting ceremony on the full moon, so that you can now allow your body to be healed and your soul to be healed and cleansed, okay? But in general, soaking in the bath and allowing candles and whatever makes you feel like a divine goddess, but allowing yourself to soak and connect with water helps you connect to your spirituality, okay? That could be when you get lots of downloads, lots of, you know, insights from your intuition. So from your guides, your ancestors, that could be how they connect with you. So I knew I felt the water. There's so much like water energy here. And look, intuition as well. Yeah. Your intuition is extremely important in this spiritual foundation. You need to start trusting your intuition more, and going inward will allow you to hear your intuition clearer. It can be hard to hear your intuition when you have so much going on in your head, or you're dealing with so many other people, or putting your energy to 50 billion different places. It can be really hard to listen to your own intuition, but going within will allow you to connect to your intuition. It's going to be a really important foundation, okay, for your spirituality, which in results ties into everything else. They all tie into each other, right? That's the harmony of it. Interconnectedness. Sweet treats. Yeah, I think just connecting to the divine energy in the sense of cook something or bake something or make something that is sweet and just delicious and just a little bit of luxury for you, right? Make it an experience. I'm gonna treat myself, right? Because I'm a divine goddess and I want a strawberry parfait or like whatever the case is. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Got thirsty from getting all fired up from that. But yeah, sweet treat. So overall, that is your reading on what you need to focus on for your self-love foundations. So I mean, it's really beautiful. Overall, I think the biggest foundation that is needed here is separating yourself from what is no longer serving you in your environment. It's something you do in your environment, right? So it's a person, it's a situation, it's whatever it is. You need to disconnect from that. Okay, and go inward. That's the foundation here. That's the key foundation here, is going inward, because going inward is going to help with everything else. Okay, focus on going inward and focusing on how great you truly are. Connect with your ancestors' journal. Imagine what you want your reality to be. Okay. But overall, that is your message. I really hope this gave you some insights onto how you can love and care for yourself more, because you deserve to. That's a very important thing to focus on, is to be aware of what you need physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Okay, everything. So these hopefully give you the awareness and how to connect to these different areas throughout your life, and being able to say, okay, this is what I need. This is what I need. Allow your intuition to follow, okay? But anyways, that's your reading. So please leave a like and comment below, and I'm sending you so much love and light your way. And I want to thank your guides and my guides for assisting in this reading. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to group number 2 now. All right, group number 2, welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful image, which I love, with the rainbow. So we're just going to go ahead and put that right here so you can still see it. Okay, and then like I mentioned, we have 4 different areas, foundations, that we're focusing on in the self-love reading. So we have first we're going to start with physical, then we're going to go to mental, emotional, and spiritual. Okay, so we have tarot cards and then some oracle cards, and then I'll pull the self-care oracle live to see how you can specifically help work on these foundations. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and light some incense. So this is abundance incense, connecting to the abundance frequency, just connecting to the love energy, right? Same frequency. Just bring that into your life, bring abundance into your life. I think it can be important when you're gaining these awarenesses to be connected to that, okay? So just set that intention of connecting to the abundance frequency. Beautiful. Okay. And then before we get started, something I just want to kind of say about these 4 different areas is they all really harmonize with each other, right? So they're all interconnected. So it's not that one doesn't matter or one doesn't affect the other. They all are interconnected and they all affect each other, but they're all separate areas as well that you can spend time focusing on, okay? So let's start with the physical and jump straight into it and see what we got here. Okay, so we have the Lovers in reverse, the World, that's a beautiful card, 7 of Wands, the Wheel, you actually had quite a few, 10 of Pentacles, Strength, and 5 of Wands in reverse. All right, so let me just take a minute to take this in. Okay, so to kind of start off with the World and the Lovers card, you know, there's some sensual energy here. And so, you know, physically it's important to connect to your inner goddess, right? Like your divine feminine energy, and really connect with that. And so the Lovers card being in reverse, you know, physically, when it comes to your sensuality, focusing on yourself, right? Focusing on loving yourself and feeling like you're on top of the world. Overall though, physically, it really seems like you are. The Wheel of Fortune, everything is in your favor, the Strength, right? So physically, I think you have some pretty solid foundations as it is. 10 of Pentacles, you're very grounded, you know, 5 of Wands in reverse, so now there's not really a lot of conflict going on. Like, it really seems like you have your physical foundations pretty in check, okay? Let's dig into the oracle cards and see if maybe we can get any other explanations and just see what they got. All right, we have lion spirit. Be generous of spirit. Okay, so physically, again, I want to kind of put into perspective that physical, we're not just talking about the physical body. It can mean that, but we're talking about just physically, okay? This dimensional. Focusing on what affects that, okay? So your thoughts can affect your physical, right? You manifest your reality, right? But we're focusing on the physical, but it seems like your body, you have some good foundations, you know, it seems like maybe work out or you feel strong, right? Like you take care of your body with these cards, right? With the World card, everything is turning in your favor right now. And so, you know, you've probably worked on your physical foundations in the past, right? You've probably worked already on this, and that's why the Wheel is here to show you that this is in your favor. Lion spirit, I think, is just, and generally, you know, the Strength card, it's usually a lion. It doesn't have to be, but it's just about having this kind of power energy. And it's like, it definitely seems like spirit has helped you find this inner strength, right? And so I think just be generous as spirit. I think give them more gratitude, right? Because they've definitely helped you find this really strong foundation that you already have, okay? So be grateful for the assistance of your guides, of, you know, the universe. Be grateful of what they've done to help you already, okay? I think that's all that's saying, is just physically, you know, things are really, and again, we're not talking about just your physical body, just your physical kind of environment, right? Things are really starting to turn in your favor, so just be grateful of spirit, right? Just send some gratitude. So just a foundation of, there's going to be a lot of great things coming your way with the Wheel of Fortune, right? And with the World card, a lot of things are going to be coming your way, so just practice gratitude. We have Hummingbird spirit. Be here now. Yeah, be in the now, right? I think that's an important foundation that just want to remind you to be physically here in the now. And, you know, with everything starting to turn in your favor, a lot of things are going to start happening. It's going to be really exciting. There's going to be a lot of exciting energy coming your way. So be focused on being present in the moment, right? Focus on being here in the now. That's a very important foundation to. And, you know, with the 10 of Pentacles, you know, I feel like you're very grounded, so you've probably focused a lot on learning to live in the moment, right? But it's just as a reminder to keep this foundation strong, keep building it, keep focusing on being present, okay? The Whale spirit, trust the great mystery. Yeah, so, you know, in the physical, as things are coming into your life, there could be a lot of unexpected things or things that you wouldn't normally maybe go for or accept or whatever, but the universe is saying, just as a foundation with being, you know, in the present and reacting to these physical things that are becoming your way, just trust in the great mystery that's going to be coming, okay? Because I think there's going to be a lot of unexpected things, and so it's important to just have the foundation of just, okay, like going with the flow, right? Whales are they're very majestic, right? And they go with the flow. And so I'm mysterious, of course. So that's what I'm getting with that. We have the Owl spirit. You can see clearly now. Yeah. So I think your third eye is pretty ignited. And I feel that with, you know, the card that you chose with the rainbow, right? It seems like she's very awakened. So I think that makes sense. I think your physical, you know, is now starting to really tie into everything, right? You've put a lot of work in energetically, spiritually. I'm excited to get to your spiritual cards, but you see things clearly. So be open to what's coming to you, okay? Have these foundations of allowing your third eye to see things, okay? These are just kind of reminders to keep working on these foundations, because you've already started all of these, is what I'm feeling. Be at peace. Yeah, so practice grounding, right? Just make sure these foundations don't get neglected, because they're very important. These are very important foundations that you've already worked on, because we have know your worth, yeah. So these foundations are very important for your physical kind of presence, okay? So make sure that you're focusing on these. But let's continuing to focus on these, which is really beautiful. It doesn't really seem like you have to change anything of what you're doing right now. You're already building these foundations, whether you consciously know it or not. So whatever you're doing right now, just keep doing it, okay? So let's see a self-care card that can help specifically with just the physical. What's some self-care that can help with physical? Oh, okay. All right, we have watch a movie. Okay, so I think, you know, there's not a lot of self-care that you need to do around these foundations because I think you're already doing it. But I think relaxing, right? And just allowing yourself to kind of just be. All right, and then the next one we have is sweet treat. Yeah, I think just kind of treating yourself a little bit, right? You've worked so hard on already building these foundations that you can allow a little bit of celebration, right? So making yourself something that you really enjoy, making yourself something that is a little bit of a treat, like just an indulgence, right? Just being present and enjoying things, okay? Being at peace. Movement. Yeah, so make sure that you're moving your body, right? You probably already have that foundation with the strength card built in, but just make sure that it's something that you're consistently doing because it's a big important thing for your physical kind of well-being, right? And these physical foundations. Beautiful. Let's move on now to your mental foundations, or just kind of mental insights. So I'm just gonna kind of put those right there so that but they're not in her way. Okay, so mentally, so mental can be one of the strongest ones because as humans, you know, it's such a beautiful experience to live life as a human, right? But the human body and brain is extremely complex, right? And the brain is so hard to understand, and understanding your unconscious can be one of the most difficult things, and many people never figure it out, right? So having the awareness of what happens within your unconscious, your mind, your thought patterns is a key part of ascension, okay, is raising your consciousness. All right, so let's jump into the tarot cards. Okay, we have Two of Cups, the Moon, the Wheel, holy shit, again? That's crazy. Yeah, lots of things are, and I think lots of things are turning in your favor right now. So this is your mental foundation. So you know that your thoughts, I feel like, are actually pretty positive. Like you have some strong foundations. I feel like you've already worked a lot on these foundations, right? So Two Cups, like you have a lot of duality in your life, which is extremely important. A lot of balance, right? So you've balanced your mindset, the way that you think about things, right? Being compassionate with yourself. You're very aware, right? You listen to yourself, right? Like you listen to your thoughts. You know how to work with your thoughts. Yeah. You know, and any fears that you do have, like with the Moon card, you're able to work through them, and that's amazing. So everything I just said, you already have the awareness into, you know, parts of your unconscious brain where you're able to work with it. Things are turning out in your favor. Nine of Cups, okay? Cups cards, so we have a lot of positive, beautiful emotion here. Yeah, wishes come true. Your dreams are becoming a reality. Yeah, the Wheel. So the fact that the Wheel is here twice is pretty amazing because you know that everything you've been working on is really in your favor, right? But you do have quite a few Dark Mirror cards, and it's not bad. It's just pulling, again, some of those deep parts of your unconscious. So this might give you some insight into just some other things to be aware of and mindsets to let go of that still linger in your unconscious brain, okay? Because that's what I'm feeling, because overall you don't really have any other foundations that you need to build besides continuing to focus on what you've already built, okay? But there is a few cards of things that you maybe need to focus on. So we have Bride in a Cage. Interesting. Let me take a look at that card. I just feel like sometimes you can feel stuck in your thoughts. That's what I'm really feeling with this card. So be aware of that, right? Make sure that when you feel stuck in your thoughts, come back to peace, right? Come back to a way that makes you feel grounded. However, you've already worked through this, continue to do that, okay? But that is something that's still deep down in your unconscious that you're still dealing with. We have fated to suffer, okay? I think you have this deep-rooted fear that, I think you've gone through a lot of shit in your life. You've gone through a lot of growth, because the growth that you've accomplished through this reading so far, that is not just handed to you. That is a lot of hard work, okay? And so, you might have had a lot of tower moments, or you haven't seen the manifestation part of the universe yet. And so you're like, okay, you believe, but you're kind of like, I don't know. And so it's like, you maybe feel this deep fear that you're just fated to suffer, that your life is just always going to be like this. It ain't with that wheel card. The wheel card twice, things are completely coming to you. So don't worry about it. But that is a deep fear that's kind of deep in your unconscious. I won't cry for you. Okay, yeah, so yeah, lots of hurt, right, in your past. And that's why I feel like you have a lot of these dark mirror cards, because you've had a lot of mental, things that you've had to work through, and you have, but these are things just to remember to be conscious of. And, with this, like, I don't cry for you. I think maybe, people have hurt you in the past, so sometimes you have a hard time with the duality, right? And the hard time being emotional, but you've definitely worked with it. But just remember, right, that being compassionate and really allowing yourself to understand what people go through is an important part of duality. But you know that because you have this card. You're compassionate. You're giving your cup to someone else, right? And you're taking their cup. You understand their situations. You're compassionate. But just remember to be in that mindset, okay? We have parasite. Yeah. So I feel like, deep down you feel like people can really... Actually, what I'm feeling is I feel like there's someone in your life in the past who has kind of like a parasite, right? Not saying they are one, just like one, kind of buried themselves in your thoughts, right? That has caused negative things where it's, they've hurt you in the past and they've said things to you. I think words are important to you, right? And so, they may have said things to you that really hurt. So, the parasite in their words still linger deep through. And that's the thing, is it might not get triggered until some other tower moment, right? These things may not come to fruition like every single day, or may not come into your thoughts, right, every single day, but they still do from time to time. And so when they do, you catch it and you be like, no, we're fine. We're gonna move past this, I need to be compassionate because the person I have in my life, or the people that I have in my life, love me back. They give me the same amount, so I can be compassionate, right? Like, you face this fear and you understand where it's coming from. You acknowledge it, right? And you say, okay, thank you, we're good. We have calling the storm. Yeah. So, mentally you are ready for battle, right? A lot of the time. And again, it's something to do within your past, something that you've already healed from. But again, the brain is very powerful, and the unconscious brain is extremely powerful, because that's where all of your patterns lie, right? Like, that's where all of your defense mechanisms, anything that you've ever needed to basically change to support yourself, right? And you unconsciously didn't do it, your brain did for you. It can be hard, right? And so calling the storm, I feel like sometimes your thoughts get so stormy. Sometimes they have in the past. I don't feel like they do as much anymore because you're at peace. But in the past, your thoughts used to be dark and stormy, and you felt like you couldn't escape, right? Your thoughts. But you've really, really worked through learning how to work through your thoughts, which, you know, I send so much light and love, and I'm so happy that you've been able to figure, you know, most of this out, because it's so hard mentally. This is the hardest foundations to build. So I'm really happy that you've, you know, already put in a lot of work. So now just be aware of when these things come up. Do not let them stagger you, right? The last one we have is an atonement. Yeah, okay. Definitely feel like something's happened in your past. And so be aware of when these negative mindsets come up. And that is how you do it, is how you catch it, is you say, okay, why are we feeling this way? What's going on? Okay, cool, gotcha, okay. Like, be at peace in the moment, be present in the moment, right? Like we talked about in the first like little deck. So yeah, overall. So those are just things to be aware of. These are not foundations you need to build, because you've already built the foundations. You just need to be conscious of when these thoughts come up, okay? Because that is an important part of the foundation as well, is being aware, okay? Paisley, stop! All right, let's pull some self-care cards now and then to just see how we can kind of help, right? Mentally, how can you also take care of yourself? How can group 2 focus more? Okay, didn't even need to say it. So the first one we have is music. Okay, so I think either you like to sing, or maybe you play an instrument, or you just like to listen to music, but music really helps you feel grounded. And that's what I'm hearing, is that music helps you feel grounded. And so when you get into these mindsets, right, where you feel trapped and you feel just all these knives going into your back, because you're just like, ugh. Like when you feel yourself getting into that, turn on some Hertz music, right? Or turn on some of your favorite music, play an instrument, sing, do whatever you need to do to ground yourself, right? Because that's literally what it is when these mindsets come up, take 3 deep breaths. You stop in the moment. When you get that thought of being like, I don't know if I'm good enough, or whatever the case is, whatever thoughts come up, whatever self thoughts come up, you stop it in the moment and you say no. And you take 3 deep breaths, you ground yourself, and you say no. And you acknowledge and you say, we're good, thank you. Don't be harsh to these thoughts, right? Because an important thing to understand with the unconscious is your shadow self, in other words, right? Like this is the deep part of your unconscious, which is your shadow self. They're not here to hurt you, okay? That part of your brain is not. Your shadow self is here to actually protect you. That's its job, right? It's here to build coping mechanisms, things to help you feel protected. So you just want to acknowledge and say thank you, but we're okay, moving on, okay? So beautiful. This is a great reading so far. I definitely feel like you guys have already put in so much work, okay? So congratulations on all that, because the wheel is letting you know that it's coming back to you, okay? So we're just gonna go ahead and put that there. All right, now let's dig into emotionally, okay? Some of the foundations that you need to be working on. We have 3 of Wands in reverse. 7 of Wands in reverse. The Emperor. 10 of Wands in reverse. And 6 of Pentacles. Definitely generous with the 6 of Pentacles, but just in the sense of emotionally, I think you're emotionally generous, right? And we had the 2 of Cups earlier, right? So you have harmony in your life. You give to other people emotionally because you're kind of set, right? Like you figured out your shit for sure. So emotionally though, I am getting that you need to focus more on yourself though. Okay, because with these Wands cards being in reverse, 3 of Wands, you know, he's ready to kind of go on this adventure, right? 7 of Wands, he's kind of protecting himself. 10 of Wands, he's kind of carrying all these things, right? And the thing is you need to let go of the Wands, right? Whatever emotionally you're worrying about or thinking about for the future or the past or whatever, there's still something emotionally that's holding you back with the Wands energy. And you know, wands can be all about ambition, right? And since these are all in the reverse, you know, it's, I think you're giving maybe too much with the Six of Pentacles. You're generous, and that's great with your emotions, okay? But you need to be more selfish in that sense, and be like an emperor, right? And focus on you, and focus on your emotions, and treating yourself like a fucking royalty, okay? That's what I'm hearing. Like, emotionally, just focus a little bit more on you, okay? Start really romancing yourself. Start saying nice things to yourself. Start basically how you treat other people, start treating yourself like that, okay? That's what I'm hearing, is that's a foundation, is, you know, there is self-love here for sure with the foundations that you've already built, but emotionally that can be one of the most important parts, right? Is really feeling in your heart, I love myself. So, but let's see what the oracle cards have to say. Don't let pride get in your way. Okay, yeah, that could be it as well. So I think focusing on yourself, and like I said, be more selfish, but I think caution on the sense, don't let pride get in your way. I also think what they're saying here is because you have the Wheel of Fortune twice. Again, we know things are going to be happening for you. Don't get too prideful about it. You know, don't let your ego come in and cloud your emotions, right? Like, I think that's a big thing, is don't allow your ego to come in and blind you, okay? We have, yeah, look at the bigger picture, yeah, of things. So emotionally, you know, whatever you're kind of feeling like, see, the thing is I don't feel like you talk negatively to yourself anymore. You do maybe periodically, right, as we saw in those cards, but I think you've worked really hard on that. But I still feel like there's kind of some stuckness here, right, or some stubbornness here. There's just these wands, right, like being in reverse. I think there's just still some emotional stubbornness for yourself. You're just not putting enough into yourself, okay? So look at the bigger picture of, you really have to care about you, okay? Be selfish in the sense, okay, emotionally, where can I improve, right, for myself? Emotionally, how can I make myself happier? How do I want to feel emotionally every day? Great, how can I get there, okay? Look at the bigger picture. We have prosperity lies ahead. I mean, yeah, we knew that, right? Like, prosperity lies ahead, right, with the Wheel of Fortune, not in this one, but the other ones, like, and I mean the Emperor too, right? Someone who's very successful. So prosperity is coming your way. So make sure that you're figuring out why you're feeling stuck, or make sure that this foundation of giving yourself, making sure you have the balance. And that's the thing, is there might not be too much here. It might just be more of a reminder to give yourself balance. But I feel like there is a little bit of stuckness emotionally. So, you know that prosperity is ahead. So prepare yourself to receive, right? So put yourself in the emotional place of, I deserve this, with humbleness, right? I deserve this, and I love myself, and I deserve to not feel burdened, right? Luck is on your side. Yeah, I love the bow and arrow too. There's like two of them there. I mean, Sagittarius, so you could be a Sagittarius with there being two. You don't have to be, but luck is on your side. Yeah, prosperity ahead, right? Like, we know that, the Wheel of Fortune. So I think what your guides are really trying to say is there's a lot of things coming your way, and you've already done the work on your foundations, right? So you really don't have that many foundations to even focus on. There really isn't too much, right? It's more about just reminding you how to get yourself in the positive place that you need to be in each area. But just emotionally, just make sure that you're solid here, okay? That's what I'm feeling with that. So let's get some self-care cards around that. How can group one take care of themselves more emotionally? We have journaling. Yeah, I think journaling can be really important, right? Journaling, and maybe if you're not sure you know something is emotionally stuck a little bit, but you're not quite sure what, journal and kind of dig into it, right? See what it is. See if it's these fears that are maybe gonna come up, and so you're kind of defensive, and so you're carrying around like these coping mechanisms, whatever it is, right? I don't think it's anything too dire. It just needs some awareness brought to it, and that's all it is. So journal. You know, journal your emotions, your happiness as well. Journal everything, you know? So if you don't have the foundation of journaling, and it doesn't need to be an everyday thing, but I think it's important to do it. If you could do it every day, it's important, right? But starting small, right? And getting into figuring out how journaling works for you, I think, is also an important thing. It doesn't have to be, dear diary, this is what happened in my day. It can be a brain dump, it can be a list, it can be whatever you want it to be, okay? But journal how you feel about things, positively and negatively. It's an important foundation because it allows you to see things, right? When you put it on paper, it's coming out of your unconscious now into reality, and you can be like, oh, cool. Okay, so that will also help you with maybe these fears that are gonna come up. We have look for fairies. Okay, so this is about, I mean, look for fairies. Of course, there's beings all around us and we're just not aware of this. But what I think this more means, what I'm feeling is allowing yourself emotionally to connect more to this kind of inner child of wonder, right? Because we had the well spirit earlier. Where are ya? Well spirit. There you are. We had the well spirit, right? So trust great mystery. So in the sense that a lot of things are coming your way, right? And we talked about that, like to be open to new things coming your way. But I also think keeping this sense of wonder and excitement for new things will be an important foundation emotionally too. So that's why I say it's important to journal about positive and negative feelings so that you're able to really kind of connect back to those feelings of happiness, because when you're writing down that everything is rainbows and happiness, you're connecting to that joy. You're celebrating those times like a fairy would, right? Deep breathing. Yeah, emotionally, I think this is important. Emotionally, whenever you're feeling stuck, or again, we talked about how these intertwine. So I'm coming back to these old mindsets that, you know, don't dominate your mind anymore, but come periodically, right? So when these thoughts come up, I said that, take 3 deep breaths, okay? Connect and just don't rush into, right? Like that's just take your time. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go journal, you know, for emotional. So I mean, so far this is great because I just feel like you already have all the foundations you really need. This is just giving you confirmation of all the hard work you've already done, and then just reminders, right? So I'm so glad to hear that, and excited for you to see what's coming with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, lastly, let's get into spiritually, okay? What foundations you need to work on. Okay, we have the Strength card. Dang, Strength came up for you twice. Love it. We have the Starseed card. This is unique to this deck. We have King of Crystals, 2 of Crystals, and Temperance. Oh man, yeah. All right, so spiritually, I mean, balance with the Temperance card, right? Like spiritually, you need to always remain balanced, which could be grounded, right? Which you're already balanced as it is, because the Strength card came up twice now, right? Because it came up for the physical as well. Yeah, see, the Strength card came twice. So that's the thing, is it's a big part of your spirituality. You have the strong inner strength, okay? It's just part of your spiritual path. It's part of your ascension. So it's an important foundation that you love yourself, right? And you see the power that you possess with the Strength card. And the Starseed card as well, right? You definitely are a starseed, so I'd look into that. There's lots of galactic different lines that you could come from. I think that's a big part of your spiritual kind of ascension, is learning more about your starseed lineage, okay? Foundation. And of course, balance. And I mean, that's even King of Crystals, right? Balance, 2 of Crystals. I think focusing on your inner strength is an important foundation. Again, you've already built these. There's nothing that I feel here or see here that you don't already know, right? That your soul doesn't already know. These are foundations that you've already worked on. So you've worked on, you know, your strength from a spirituality perspective and the balance, even if you don't realize it, these are part of your spirituality, your soul, right? And the star seed. So let's look at some of the oracle cards though, because those always kind of give some deeper explanation. So we have, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. I love that. Okay, I say that because what's beautiful about that is your soul is destined to be not traditional, right? And that's expected if you're a starseed. You never really are. There's always a like feeling of not fitting in, a feeling of longing for something different, right? And so that makes sense. So the foundation is just accept yourself, right? Which I think you have, but just remember to continue to harness your inner strength and just know you're meant to be unique. You're meant to be, as they say, your own weirdness, right? So embrace it. Whale and Orca elders, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Wow, the fact that whales came up twice too in this reading. Whales are very majestic, old creatures, right? Really beautiful souls. So connecting to the ocean, that could be part of your star line or starseed lineage, as well as Minnetonka. So you could look, or Lumeria. Both of those, Atlantis, look into those, connecting to the ocean, right? Connecting to this, something about your soul is connected to ocean, right? To these old souls, to this beautiful part of Mother Earth. So, and just diving deep, right? I think is a big part of what your soul does. And so, but it's just crazy to see those whales come up twice. I mean, damn. We have empathat, oh my gosh. Empathy starseed. I could not say that. Okay, so absorbing what's not yours. And it's funny that starseed is here. You're definitely a starseed for sure. So knowing that, right, like emotionally, what we just talked about, right, is I feel like you give a lot to others. Where was that card? I need a bigger desk. Here we go. You know, Six of Pentacles, like you definitely care a lot about people, and it's because you're an empath. And so be aware, you know, with your energy, with being an empath, and you probably already know this because you're probably an introvert as well, where you do like having your alone time, but just remember that you are an empath and you're an empath starseed, right? So realize that's part of your soul and build those foundations of knowing that you're an empath and you need to recharge your energy or cleanse your energy as often as you need to, okay? Use your intuition. We have the 7 star sisters. Birthing creations, tapestry of life expressions. Yeah, see, your soul is gonna do something really big, and I feel like that's why the Wheel of Fortune is here. Yeah, you have a lot of things that are coming your way, right? And you've worked really hard. The foundations that you've built have really been for a reason, right? You've gone through all the shit that you've had to go through to get you to build these foundations to get you here, right? Because you are gonna do something really great. You got the love. Ah, interesting. Okay, hold on. We have a few star seed kind of clues here. Interesting. Yeah, I would say, I mean, if the card resonates with you, then take it. But to me, these are just telling me different star seed energies. So we have Hadron, I think is how you say it, Hadron energy. So check out that one for star seed. We have Orion energy. Okay, check out that one. So I mean, karmatic relationships, you got love, if any of those resonate with you. For me, they're just telling me the different star seeds. And then we have Imarma, yeah. But Atlantis, Lumeria, okay, look into those water-based planets. Definitely water, because look, here's another water-based, right? So I would specifically focus on Atlantis, Lumeria, but you can come from more than one starseed lineage, especially if your soul is really old, which I feel like it is with the orcas, right? With the whales. Not the orcas, the whales. Again, very old soul. Okay, I feel like your soul has reincarnated on Earth more than once, and you are from multiple starseed lineages. So I think, you know, your guides just wanted me to make that aware to you, right? Is that's part of a foundation, is learning where you come from. Okay, so that could be something, since you've already built all these foundations, that could be something that you start getting excited about and start focusing on while you're waiting for the wheel to start turning in your favor, which it will soon, because it is in your favor, but for it to start turning, right, and get to you. You can really be researching starseeds. Beautiful. Okay. How can group 2 take care of their spiritual selves? Their soul, what does their soul need? Self-care, does their soul need? Okay. All right. We have chanting. Okay. So I would look into that. There could be chanting that when you figure out your starseed lineage, there could be a specific chanting too that maybe, or practice that they have with meditation. So you could look into that, that resonates, or just in general, finding a chanting that speaks to your soul. That's a very personal journey, but that's going to be important self-care for your soul, right? Is chanting, really just, I think moving your energy through, I think is kind of what I'm seeing here, right? It's just chanting. It's almost like a humming, right? So it heals your body, but it's moving the energy through your body, which is important when you're an empath. And then we have family. Yeah, connecting to your family, the 7 star sisters, right? Like you have a soul family, you're connected to your soul family. And so spend time with them, because it really helps you feel connected to your vision. It helps you feel connected. And maybe, you know, if they're also spiritual at this point in their life, you can talk to them about starseeds, right? And see if they know anything, or if they're interested in anything, or however that resonates. But overall, I mean, this is your reading, which is really beautiful. It seems like you have worked so hard on your foundations, which makes sense with this card, because it's super beautiful, right? She's enlightened, right? She's looking up, she has this rainbow, which is the Wheel of Fortune, is really filling into that, really, you know, fueling that. And so you've worked hard to build these foundations. You worked hard on your divine energy. So it's, all these things are coming. These are just reminders to make sure that you're focusing on caring about yourself, okay, and being protective of your energy. And when your thoughts come up, be kind to yourself. When negative thoughts come up, be kind and just be aware of them and say, okay, we're good. I think journaling is going to be a really important thing, so I definitely encourage you to do that. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you the insights you need to be able to move forward on continuing to build these beautiful foundations. But I think my guides and your higher self for assisting in this reading and coming to give you all this beautiful insight and information. And I am so excited to see what comes for you with the Wheel of Fortune. So leave me a like or a comment below and let me know how this resonated. And I am gonna go ahead and move on to group number 3 now. All right, group 2, welcome to your reading, which has this beautiful heart. Beautiful too. We're gonna go ahead and put this right here so that you can see that. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is a reading that is going to give you insight into your self-love foundations in 4 areas of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So this will give you some great insights onto how you can continue to work on these foundations, okay? Before we jump into it though, I do want to go ahead and light some incense. So this is abundance incense. So just connecting to that frequency, so as you're getting awareness and insight into these foundations that you can be working on, we're bringing in that abundance and love frequency, okay, to help assist you in that. Self-love all the way. So please set that intention while I light that. Okay. Cool. Beautiful. Go ahead ahead and stick that guy over here, and we'll jump straight into it and not waste any time. So let's start with physical. So also one thing I do want to mention is remember that these 4 areas are interconnected, right? Okay, they all affect each other, but they all are separate areas. So as we're getting into physical, we're not just talking about your physical body, okay, and how you can take care of it. There might be messages regarding that, but it's just about your physical environment in general, okay? Because your thoughts and your emotions and everything manifests things into your physical reality, okay? So these are just things that you need to do that will help your physical reality with these foundations, okay? So let's take a look. We got 4 of Swords. Oh. 8 of Cups. King of Wands. And 3 of Wands. Okay, lots of earth energy here. Obviously we're talking about physical, but you could be an earth sign, you don't have to be, but I feel lots of grounding. You know, with the 8 of Cups, like this card, he's letting everything go. The 3 of Wands, you know, he's at peace with his wands, you know, they're in the ground. He's not using them to fight, right? 4 of Swords, he's relaxing. He's got his swords, but he's, you know, naked here in the sense that he's not prepared for battle. He's not consistently thinking about battle. And so what I'm just feeling here is I feel like foundationally in your physical, you know, everything is pretty balanced. You know, you're pretty grounded. You've worked on this, you know, you've really learned to stabilize yourself, and you have all of these powerful tools, right? But you've been able to just say, okay, we're good. We're good. Thank you. Right? So lots of balanced energy for sure. But let's take a look at the Oracle cards, because that can always help to kind of see a little bit further in detail what you could just be aware of. So, you know, foundationally, it doesn't seem like there's really anything else that you need to do. You're doing everything you need to do, so keep doing it. But let's get a little bit time for a deep dive. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm getting with the Swan Spirit is, you know, it seems that you've made your way somewhere, right? And now you're kind of at peace. You're at peace sitting still. And so, but it's time to do a deep dive in the sense of what you're seeing in your physical, you know, realm right now, right? What you're seeing in your physical, I don't know the word I'm trying to say, just what you see. Is that what you want? Because if it's not, it's time to take a deep dive and see, okay, I'm grounded, right? I'm pretty solid on that. Is this how I want my life to be? Is there anything I can do that would make it greater, right? Because dream big, allow it to be so, because your thoughts and feelings and actions will manifest that into your reality, okay? So take a deep dive and think about what else you want for your life, okay? It doesn't necessarily just have to be in the physical, but I think that's what it's really talking about, is what do you want your physical life to look like? Do you want to live in a house? Do you want to be able to travel more? You know, what is it that you want to, how do you want to elevate your life even more now that you're grounded, okay? We have the Turtle Spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, so I think you've learned that, right? Like, I think you've learned to take things slow and steady. You know, you don't rush into things. You know, the 8 of Cups, you have no problem letting things go, but just continue to be patient, right? He's running up the stairs because he's ready to let go, but everything else is stagnant and just grounded and just patient, okay? So it's just a foundation to remember to be patient and just be steady. We have the Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. Yeah, so remember the foundation of being King of Wands, right? And being bold, right? Wands energy is all about ambition. So I really feel with the King of Wands, and I kind of like these cards because I feel like they kind of, the colors, right, and stuff kind of speak to each other. So I think that's a foundation that you've built, right? That you know that you're freaking badass. So just remember to always have that foundation of being fearless, and don't let anything hold you back, okay? We have the Crow Spirit, co-create with spirit. That's cool. Okay, so that's a foundation that you have if you're not aware of, again, manifesting your reality, okay? And that's why they want you to take a deep dive, because you're co-creating with spirit. You have been this whole time. And so if there's anything that you want, allow it to be reflected so that the crow can come in and help transform. Okay. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. Okay, I said, you know, you don't have problems with letting go, but maybe there's still, again, is something you need to let go of then, okay? Or actually, maybe I'm wrong. I think it's more of a foundation of you know how to let things go. I'm taking that back because now that I'm really feeling it, it's no, the groundhog is sure of things, right? Like, no, they're ready for it. So I think you've realized how to let go of things, and it's helped you build these foundations, right? Yeah, because with the Eight of Cups, you've learned to let things go. Yeah, excuse me. I acted too quickly. Talk about being slow and steady. Porcupine spirit, time for a beginner's mind. Okay, yeah, exactly. So, okay, you've reached this new destination, right? You're grounded, you've kind of reached this top of the mountain. Now you're just chilling with your swords and kind of just chilling, right? Like you're good, you're ready for battle if you need to be, but you're pretty good. Okay, so go back to a beginner's mind on allow this foundation to kind of unfold where you get excited about new things, right? Where things can be new every day and it's like, whoa, right? Like being open to basically learning new things and learning all you can and going forward with what you want, right? So I think that's like the biggest thing is it's time for the beginner mind. And now that you're at this next part, what do you want? Start thinking about what you want in your physical realm, right? And then we have the starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. Yeah, exactly. You've built a lot of foundations of kind of basically flowing, right? Accepting, being open to things. I think you've already worked on those foundations. So these are just reminders to continue working on those because they're really powerful foundations to possess, okay? Especially when it comes to working with your mind and your emotions and your shadow self and all these different areas, having kind of this ability to ground yourself like you have, I think is extremely important. I'm so glad that this has been the case. So now let's just pull some self-care cards on how you can continue to, you know, nurture these foundations that you've already built. Freaking 3 focus. Self-care. Okay, so we have Sweet Treat, which is funny because I think this has appeared in every single reading. And I think it's just when you're caring about self-love, you know, you treat yourself once in a while, right? Like in the sense of you just allow yourself to indulge and enjoy the moment, okay? And so allow yourself to indulge, and I think that's what it is, right? It's you've worked so hard, you've reached this peak, now eat, you know, allow yourself to enjoy a cupcake or whatever, like a fucking goddess, right? Cook it yourself, whatever it is for you, right? But a sweet treat of just something sweet, you know, something that you like, whatever it is. We have chanting, yeah. So I think keeping these foundations stable, right? Keeping the grounding stable. I think chanting is a really important way that you can really connect to that. And it's really just the flow of energy, right? So, you know, you could already meditate or, you know, maybe you already chant or yoga or whatever stillness that you have. Definitely try chanting because not only does it kind of help heal your body with the movements, right, of your body, but it helps move the energy through, which can ground you easier, right, with having the energy be able to flow so naturally. So, and then we also have spend time with friends. Yeah, you built these foundations, right, of feeling grounded and happy and ready for new adventures. And so spend time with your friends and have some fun, right? Have some fun while you're dreaming and taking a deep dive of, okay, what's next? Allow yourself to have some fun. I think that's kind of more what it is, like that. So, all right, let's move on now to the mental foundations, okay? I'm just gonna kind of pile these up because it gets to be a lot of cards and then it just gets confusing. So I'm gonna put those guys right there so you can still see. But let's jump into the mental now, starting with tarot cards. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. We have the Three of Swords, the Sun, and the Six of Cups in reverse. Okay, so kind of my thoughts here is I do want to connecting to your inner child. So emotionally, I feel like you haven't connected to your inner child as deeply as you are needing to, okay? So it definitely seems like maybe you've healed through something in your past, but connecting to your inner child allows this natural mindset of wonder. And I think that's really important because there could be also things that you need to let go of, to heal from within your childhood that affects your thoughts, okay? And so because that's the thing is with your thoughts, that's where your self-talk lies. That's where, you know, your self-sabotaging habits lie. That's where our self-defense mechanisms lie. And a lot of them, they all come from childhood. They're all defined from childhood as you observed the world, as you grew up in the world, right? You developed whatever you needed to develop to survive. Your shadow self did, right? And so connecting to your inner child and embracing it, right? And it's not that there's bad things. It's just do some reflection, right? Do some deep dive where connecting to your inner child kind of bring out that wonder. That's kind of more what I'm feeling is I don't think there's necessarily anything that is negative that you need to work on from your childhood. There could be something, but I think more what this is saying is mentally you've learned how to kind of heal yourself, right? Like you've learned how to kind of help with those thoughts. If sometimes they go negative, you've learned how to help heal yourself, and you have the guidance of your angels who have helped hold your hand through this, right? And so that's why I feel like it's more connecting with your inner child to get the sense of wonder, because with the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's, you know, I just feel like you maybe could be a little closed off to love. That could be a foundation you need to work on a little bit more, is opening up your heart a little bit. Because I do see that with these two cards, with the Knight and Six of Cups. Yeah, it's like connecting to your inner child and like being open to so many beautiful love emotions, right? I think it's just important, especially with the Knight of Cups in reverse. I think focus on the foundation of opening up your heart more, okay? That's to everyone, that's to yourself, that's just opening up more of your heart. So connecting to your inner child can help you do that, because the inner child isn't as wounded as the adult can be, right? So that's what I feel like, because with the Sun card, I mean, you're ignited, right? Like things are gonna be, a lot of beautiful things are gonna be happening because you've worked so hard on your physical foundations, and even your emotional foundations are pretty in place too. Let's look at these cards. Oh my gosh, look at that. The child I was meant to be. Yeah, something about your inner child is extremely important here, okay? So you'll have to, that will be something you need to dig in deep for, which, you know, we saw that card here. Where was it? Time for a deep dive with the Swan Spirit, right? Time for a deep dive into your inner child, because this is from the Dark Mirror Oracle, which really helps you bring light to the unconscious shadow part of your brain. So that definitely means that there's something in your inner child that you need to heal from or connect to, okay? So really focus on that. That's a foundation that still needs to be built, is connecting to your inner child, and see what needs to come out of that, okay? That's gonna be a personal experience for you. We have today for tomorrow. Yeah, so I kind of had to take a second to think about what this one meant, but I am getting energy of maybe a childhood friend. Something could be affecting you from childhood friend, because there's there's two children in this card, kind of two people here. And so maybe, something to do with your inner child, today for tomorrow, it's looking, back on like, okay, so what happened in my childhood? If that doesn't resonate, I think that was the only message for someone that it did resonate for, is you had a childhood friend that maybe hurt you, right? Something, and maybe that doesn't allow you to open up as much because they hurt you in some way. And so, your heart is healing and your angels are here to help you heal the heart. You just need to become more aware of what actually happened, okay? Or what you're actually feeling. That's what I'm getting. And then we have addicted. Yeah. So addicted to something, right? You're addicted to something, and that could be a substance, could be anything, right? A person, technology, tarot readings, right? Like whatever it is, there's something that you're addicted to that you need to remove, because you need to have a solid foundation of no addiction, right? So there's a little bit more awareness here of connecting to your inner child is a powerful foundation, because if you have a connection to your inner child, you have always this sense of wonder and the sense of like, oh my gosh, you just kind of see life through a little bit more of a child's eyes, right? From a beginner mindset, as they said earlier in the physical, right? Wherever that was, beginner mindset. But it's important to have that beginner mindset, and that can help with connecting with the inner child, right? Time for your beginner mind. Yeah, time for a younger mind, right? Just those traits of a younger mind, of being more carefree, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Connecting with water too will help you heal emotionally, okay? So taking a bath, taking a shower, that will also help you, because I am seeing water here. Okay, what self-care can you 3 focus on emotionally? Okay. Bottom of the deck energy, we do have hydrate, which, I did mention the water. So that could just be hydrating your body in general, drinking more water, or taking a bath, right, to heal your body. Okay, so we have family, yeah, connecting back to, again, your inner child, and maybe connecting with your family, right? Whether that's your biological family or your soul family, just whoever is family to you, working with your inner child and then connecting and receiving the love of your family, okay? Know you have that. Nourish your temple. Emotionally, these things affect each other, right? So when you're taking care of your body and you're nourishing it, right? And we're talking about getting the nutrients, taking your vitamins, you would think that'd be in the physical, but I think why it's here is because nourishing your body will help you feel kind of more, when you nourish your body and you feel healthier and you feel kind of more energized, you just feel happier, right? You feel more joyous. And so I just think it's going to be just helpful for you to feel overall balanced, and it's just here for your emotional well-being, because maybe you have an addiction with food, right? Maybe you overindulge in food, or maybe you don't eat enough. That could be something that this is saying. And so nourish your temple because it's affecting you emotionally, okay? Yeah. And then we have make a vision board. We also have angel number 33, okay, support. So make a vision board of, and what I think this is, and think about kids, right? Kids are very creative, right? Imaginative. And so vision boards can be amazing because it really is just a bunch of images, right? Almost like a childhood mind that is representing something that is important. And so I think this can be a really important part of your healing, or maybe about how you want to feel emotionally. That could be something, you know, reflect and dig deep on how do you want to feel emotionally about your childhood or just in general, and make a vision board around that, right? Manifest it into your reality. Your thoughts are extremely powerful because they really do kind of, they affect so many things, right? That's why these thoughts are so emotional, right? They're affecting kind of other areas. So that's what I'm saying, is making a vision board of how do you want to feel emotionally? What kind of positive thoughts do you want to have? Okay. I'm curious now to kind of dig into the emotion, because I've been saying a lot of emotion for mental, but I really feel like it's because there is a lot of emotion here, that your thoughts are emotional and they're coming from this place, right, of needing to kind of open up your heart a little bit. Yeah. So that's what I'm feeling. That's kind of where your thoughts are. So building the foundation of connecting to your inner child and changing your thought patterns to be more positive, okay? But now let's dig in emotionally, because now I actually am like curious. I think there's a lot of strong emotional energy for sure here. Okay, so we have Ace of Wands in reverse, the Fool in reverse. Yeah, that makes sense. The Wheel of Fortune, and the Tower. Okay, so emotionally, or you feel like you're going through a tower moment emotionally right now, right? And you know, that's the thing, is tower moments are just part of the ascension process, are part of growth, right? And so you're going through a tower moment right now emotionally, and I think we're feeling that, right? And that's why I could feel so much like emotion. I like kept calling them mental emotional because that's all I was feeling. But I think you're going through this tower moment, and it's just because you need to come back to a full mindset. And that's amazing that this card is here, because the full mindset is about being childlike, right? You can tell, like, look, this is like a littler dog, right? Like a little puppy usually is how it's depicted. And then you have the Fool, who's someone who's just youth-like, right? And just excited about life, right? Kind of naive, but it's still a good place to be if you have balance, right? Because a Fool is all about new journeys, new beginnings. And so, but for me, it's about the youthful energy that you need to connect to, okay? Emotionally, there's a youthful energy that is being, your inner child is not being heard right now, okay? And that's why the emotion was coming through the mental, because your inner child's not being heard, and you definitely need to give them the focus, right? The Wheel of Fortune, this is always a good one, because that means emotionally things are turning in your favor, which is why there was a tower moment, right? You may have gone through something hard emotionally recently, or you're going to when you work through your inner child stuff, and just be aware of that, right? And that's why you need to allow yourself to heal and bring in the people to help you heal with the inner child stuff. But things are turning in your favor, and that's why that's happening, okay? Yeah. Yeah, Ace of Wands too, like beautiful, like new beginning will come, and the Fool, right? Like this will turn once you allow that youthful energy to come in. And all that, I think, is really the foundation that needs to be here, that is kind of showed in the mental thing, is again having the innocence of the inner child, because you want to have the full energy as you ascend, right? You want to be open to new experiences and have that innocence of being excited about things, right? Being ready to go on adventures. So I think that's a foundation here, is learning how to connect back to that inner child, okay? And you might need to do some healing before you're able to do that in a positive way, and that's okay. We all do. You are good enough. Yeah. See, I feel like something in your childhood made you feel it just wasn't a good time, maybe, or it was, and maybe there was a certain point in your childhood that wasn't, but something about your childhood really affected you, and you've worked on it, right? Like you've worked on healing those childhood wounds, but now you need to reconnect to your inner child in such a positive way. So realize that you're good enough, okay? That's like more of an affirmation. Allow your emotions to have that foundation of telling yourself that you are good enough, that you're amazing, that you're fucking beautiful, okay? Don't let your past hold you back. Yeah, exactly. Don't allow whatever pain happened in your childhood to hold you back from coming into the full energy, right? The end of a tough cycle approaches, the tower moment, right? So yeah, maybe you've already had your tower moment, right? And the foundation here is, I think it's just about, even though you have these tower moments, you still rise with the Fool card. You know, I think that's more the foundation that needs to be built here. So realize that this feeling of, right? Like this cycle that you're in right now is meant to teach you, okay? So realize that it's happening for you, not to you, and that has been the case, but just come back into the full energy. Show the world the real you. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Sorry, my camera battery died, and then I decided to open up the window. Now the sun's not shining in my face, so it's probably brighter, which is nice. Yeah, anyway, so as I was saying, just emotionally, you know, showing the world, you have to understand all the parts of yourself in order to show the world the real you, right? So in order to do that, you need to connect to every part of yourself, and your inner child is such a big part of who you are, right? It's how you began. So connecting back to that and show the world who you are by coming forward as the Fool in this new energy. Okay, we'll pull some self-love cards though around that. Self-care cards, excuse me, same thing. What self-care can group focus on emotionally? Okay, we have connect to your womb. Yeah, so, you know, something could have happened in your childhood that was traumatic, that could have been, you know, a sexual experience. And so connecting to your womb, you know, in a positive way can help redirect that energy, right? If that doesn't resonate, just in general, emotionally connecting to your divine energy, right, is extremely important. So, you know, honoring your period, pleasuring yourself, whatever that means to you. But emotionally, I think it's about connecting to your inner divine goddess wisdom, okay? Your inner divine energy. And then we have a health checkup. Okay, so yeah, I think emotionally, like a foundation is just, I think it's just getting everything checked up that you need to, right? So if, you know, you come across as you're working through some of this inner childness, if you feel like you need extra assistance, right? Seek out a therapist, a professional, someone who can really help you dig into the childhood trauma if you have any, or someone who can just assist. If that doesn't resonate, then just in general use your intuition on, you might need a health checkup somewhere that will help you emotionally, okay? But I'm kind of feeling like for the majority, not majority, but for who it's meant for, it's, if this childhood stuff is heavy and you need help, it's okay. You know, that's why therapists are here, right? That's why mental health professionals are here, is they're here to help heal the trauma. They're here to help you get through it much quicker than you would be able to on your own, okay? So take it as it resonates for sure. Overall, pretty beautiful though. Just because a lot of things are going to be coming your way with the wheel, okay? So just allow yourself to fill into that full energy. Because connecting to your inner child is so powerful. It's so powerful. It can be hard, okay? But it's really powerful. All right, and lastly, we're gonna dig into now spiritually, okay? Some of the foundations that we wanna get awareness to. So we have the King of Swords. Yeah, someone who's very aligned for sure. Two of Wands, balance. Eight of Crystals, balance. Six of Wands, balance. Okay, lots of duality, right? I just see balance, balance, balance. Okay, so spiritually, I think you're very balanced, right? And that's a foundation you're meant to have is the balance in your spirituality, and I feel like you already have that. That's not a problem at all. You have no issues here on anything that you need to build foundationally for your spirituality. You're already doing it. Okay, let's see what some of the other cards though. Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything aligned must go. Okay, so just remembering with these spiritual foundations, balance, right? So as you're seeking balance in every area of your life, remember, you see past the veil, okay? Yeah. We have get grounded. Yeah. So I think that's a really important foundation, right? Chanting, meditation, whatever it is, allowing yourself to be grounded is super important for your energy. And it's funny because these cards really do look so much alike. Just in the sense, see how the energy is like flowing through, right? And I think that's the important part of it is spiritually, you need to consistently be channeling your energy in and out, right? Get it to be moving so that you can feel grounded. I think that's just an important foundation that is a spiritual and a physical one, right? It really assists all of them. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. Yes, and see, we've seen that in some of the other cards, right? Nourishing your body, that was one of the cards, and hydrating, right? How we talked about that, taking a bath. So water your garden. So definitely nourish your body more and drink more water and spend more time taking a bath or with water. It's important for your soul. It's a foundation that you're being asked to just continue to focus on, okay? Jump in, say yes to change. Yeah, I don't think you're afraid of change necessarily, right? I think you're open to that. Just remember to have the foundation of being open to change. Have, again, the full energy, which is where I think that will really come through and will really kind of help with this foundation, right? And then the last one we have is Star Keeper. Cosmic ancestors see the light by staying grounded. Yeah. Grounding, I think, is, if not the most important foundation for you, right? Because from the spiritual level, it's coming up twice, right? So I think having a grounding practice as a foundation is extremely important for you. Okay, but spiritually, you're doing everything you need to do besides just keep focusing on being grounded. Amazing. All right, let's see what self-care you can focus on though spiritually. What self-care can you focus on spiritually? Okay. We have create art. Look at that. Yeah. So remember how I talked about, connecting to your inner child. Children are very creative, very imaginative, right? That part of their sacral chakra is very ignited, and connecting with your womb, that's also your sacral chakra as well. And your creativity comes from there, right? So I think that's really important, is focusing on your sacral chakra could be a really important kind of foundation that's needed as well, is paying attention to that sacral chakra, filling into it so you can allow your creativity to flow, okay? Because creating art, it's an important foundation, I think, to maybe also help you feel grounded. So yeah, that's self-care that you can do to help yourself feel grounded from your spirituality. And alone time. Yeah, duality, right? Again, we're just talking about duality with harmony, right? With being able to be in balance. That's the word I was looking for, balance. So spending time alone is extremely important, and I think also helping you become grounded, right? Which is the most important foundation here. So yeah, overall though, this is really beautiful. So I think the most important things from this reading, foundation wise, is definitely connecting to your inner child, okay? Really focus on that. I think that's the biggest foundation that your guides want you to focus on. And then just being grounded, okay? Whatever you need to do to get grounded, there's quite a few ways to ground yourself that we've been shown through self-care. So take whatever you want, you need that day, right? Listen to your intuition. Yeah. But overall, that's your reading. So I thank your guides and my guides and your higher self for helping give these beautiful insights. And I hope these insights help you move forward with your journey. And I'm wishing you so much love and luck as you move forward with building these foundations and connecting to your inner child. Beautiful. Awesome. Well, leave me a like and a comment of what resonated, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to group number 4 now. All right, group 4, welcome to your reading. Chose this beautiful girl with these beautiful butterflies, almost like indigo colored butterflies, right? Super beautiful. So I'm going to talk about crown chakra. I'm going to go ahead and put that right here. Okay, so we have a big stack of cards here. So first we're going to start with physical, okay? So the physical foundations that you need to focus on, and then we'll go to mental, emotional, and then spiritual, okay? So before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and light some incense. So this is abundance incense, okay? So I want you to specifically focus on connecting to the abundance frequency. Why this is important is because your thoughts and your emotions and everything manifests your reality, right? These 4 different pillars are interconnected. So connecting to the abundance frequency allows you to take these insights and do what you need to do to change your foundations, right? And allow abundance to come forward to you, okay? So just set that intention of allowing the frequency. Cool. And then we'll just go ahead and put that right here. And we'll jump straight into it, okay? All right. So, starting with the tarot cards, we have 4 of Wands, 8 of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so what I'm getting is kind of some of your physical foundations. Right now you seem like you're gaining a new perspective, basically. I think on how you see life, like that's what I like, how you see your physical reality, right? Like that's what I'm feeling, because with the 8 of Swords, this is the illusion that she's stuck, right? And that she's trapped and she can't escape, and that's not the case. You know, she could if she needed to. And the Hanged Man is all about gaining a new perspective. 4 of Pentacles, right, hanging on to these 4 of Wands celebration. And so it's like you feel maybe stuck right now, like holding on to things, kind of like not sure what to do, how to change your physical reality. But you're gaining a new perspective, okay? And that's a foundation that is currently building, is the Hanged Man perspective. And what that means is that's a foundation of increased awareness, right? Of seeing things for what they are, getting a different way of looking at things. And so that's the energy that you should really just fall into and allow that Hanged Man to really come to fruition, because that foundation is extremely important when we're talking about manifesting things, okay? Because your thoughts, your actions, your feelings all manifest your reality. So because your thoughts have felt confused with the 8 of Swords, that's how your reality feels, is confused, and you feel like you should just hold on to things and you want to celebrate, but it just feels kind of stuck. That's just what I don't know. It's not ready to move forward. That's just how I feel. You know, all these people are preoccupied, right? And they can't celebrate. So there's things to celebrate right now in your physical, right? And so basically blindfold yourself and be the Hanged Man and kind of build those foundations of seeing things. Don't allow yourself to fall into this delusion, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing is kind of happening in the physical. Okay, we have Scarab, Beetle, Spirit, magic works through you. Yeah, like what I just said, like when you're in, if you allow yourself to build this Hanged Man foundation, you're really building the ability to manifest anything you want, right? It's all about perspective. It's all about seeing things as they are, seeing the illusions for what they are, and being able to work with what you want, right? So you have some really powerful manifestation abilities, okay? So that those are foundations that exist. So know that that magic works through you, and get yourself out of this energy and get yourself into this energy, okay? We have Canary Spirit, sing your own song. I like that. I'll put this little guy over here. Yeah, I think this is all about building the foundation of being a little bit more carefree, right? Like with this Four of Pentacles, you're very stuck on holding on, right? Like holding on to your things and not being able to kind of just flow. And so the Canary Spirit, just be, right? Be happy about things. Be happy about the celebrations that are in your life. And as you have this Hangman perspective, you sing your own song, you sing the happiness, you be excited about the things that are coming to you, right? The yellow, right? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. And then, so that's a good foundation. We have the Otter Spirit, you're never alone. Yeah. So build the foundation of realizing, allow your thoughts to realize that you're truly never alone, right? And that you're not tied up, and there's no illusions. You can ask your guides for help at any time, okay? The Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. Holy crap, look at that. Yeah, so you have a lot of celebrations that, another thing that I'm hearing is a foundation that you need to be aware of is, I mean, it's about perspective, because you have a lot of things going on positively in your life with the Four of Wands, but you're not seeing them. You're not seeing them clearly. And that's kind of why you feel like stuck and you're like, nothing's working, nothing's happening, when in reality, there's actually a lot around you. You just are not seeing it, okay? So the miracles that are in your life already are amazing, but there's more even coming. But build these foundations of being able to see them, otherwise that energy will be stuck, okay? So that's basically the physical foundations that you need to work on. But let's get some self-care cards on how you can spend more time getting yourself into this perspective, right? What self-care does group 4 need to focus on physically? Okay, first one we have is a health checkup. So definitely, get your annual checkup, go to the dentist, do whatever you need to do, just take care of your body, okay? That's just a foundation to just have every year, to just make sure that your physical body is taken care of, okay? That's what I'm hearing. Connect with your womb. Okay. So it could be going to see your gynecologist, or just in general health checkups, but connecting with your womb, right? Honoring your cycles, or that can be even pleasure, right? But just building this foundation of, I think, also grounding yourself, right? Connecting with your womb, connecting with your, basically your sacral chakra, right? Being able to connect to that part of your divine, like divine feminine energy, right, is extremely important when you're trying to gain this Hangman perspective. Connecting to that divine energy connects you to seeing the beauty in things, right, and not feeling stuck. So that's what I'm hearing. Clean your space. Yeah, that's an important foundation. As you're in your physical environment, it can be really hard to see perspectives if your space is not clean, because if your space is not clean, it makes your head feel not clear, right? Your thoughts don't come clearly and things don't come clearly. Windows are especially important. While she's cleaning windows, make sure you clean all your windows, because energy, you want, and mirrors and windows, make sure they're clean and clear so the energy can come through clearly, right? So that could be another reason why you're feeling blocked and like illusion almost, because your environment, your physical environment is clogged up. Okay, I actually definitely now feel that really strongly. In addition to what, you know, we've talked about with this card, is I think you need to clean your space. Okay, clean your energy field as well. Just clean your space. Just get everything cleared out. Get the energy fresh and get into this hangman perspective. I think clearing your space will help you get into that, right? As we talked about. So overall, I think that's great. So yeah, that's a physical foundation then you need to work on, is really just gaining the other perspective, right? So now let's dig into mentally. What foundations you need to focus on. Mental could be a little bit different and harder because, you know, as humans, it's amazing to go through this experience, right? But the brain is so complex that your subconscious is one of the hardest things to learn. So once you have that awareness and those insights to work with your unconscious, it can really make the world of a difference, okay? So let's dig in and kind of see what foundations you need to work through mentally, because that will affect your reality. We have 8 of Wands, okay? So you see already too much things going on. We have the Dreamer in reverse. Yeah, that makes sense. Which is also the Fool. King of Pentacles. Yeah, 10 of Wands. And the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So, I mean, what I'm kind of seeing already is with the 8 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, you are thinking about a lot, right? Like you have a lot of ambition with the Dreamer card. With it being in reverse though, it's because it's about the Hanged Man perspective, right? It's in reverse because you need to have this perspective first before you can be the Fool. Okay, that's kind of, I mean, the Fool is the first card, right? Like, but in the sense of this kind of the way that we're talking about this is, you know, you need to gain this new perspective so you're not in the, where's that cards? I want to kind of compare the two. So you're not in this mindset, right? Of feeling stuck in illusion. That's not how the Dreamer is. That's how the Hanged Man is in this Dreamer stage, right? Because they see this different perspective. So I think that is something, you know, your thoughts, you need to work with your thoughts on, you have too much going on. You're worrying about too many things, right? You're worrying about maybe school or work, you're working too hard, and so your thoughts are being consumed with just stress and work and just feeling overworked, and that's why you feel this illusion of feeling stuck, right? You have the ability to make a lot of abundance for yourself, right? And so I think that's the thing, is like if you build the foundation of the Hanged Man, right, of getting the Dreamer perspective, these cards would change, right? And then you would be primarily in this Dreamer energy, which you want to be in, because this is the Fool, in other words, right? And so it's like this allows you to take the ambitions that you have and now put them towards something, right? So I'm getting just a lot going on in your head. So grounding yourself too with the King of Pentacles. Kind of digging in a little bit deeper, we have Gilded Regret. Okay, so there could be something that you're regretting within your school life or your work life, maybe a missed opportunity with this being in reverse. And so you're feeling this regret that's coming from your subconscious. And so, you know, don't allow that to be a foundation, in other words. So, you know, as you're building that foundation, don't have any regrets, because that's living in the past. You never ever want to live in the past or the future, right? With being the Dreamer, it's, yeah, you have to be able to dream, right? And have hope for the future, but you have to be present in the moment. That's the most important part. So don't have any regrets of things in the past, because that doesn't matter anymore, right? So don't allow regret to be in your thoughts, okay? Don't allow that to take up that energy. Allow the Dreamer to come in and take all of your thoughts energy, right? All of your swords energy. Swords are thoughts, right? And don't have regrets, okay? Because that's what I'm feeling, is you just feel stuck, and the Hangman is just where you need to get to, okay? It will clear up a lot for you, okay? Let's see what else we have. We have downcast pride. Yeah, exactly. See, I think something happened with the Page of Pentacles, you know, something in your job or something in school, something didn't go how you wanted and you have a regret, right? So you feel your pride is kind of hurt. There was some kind of failure, and you know, I say this with the quotations because it's not truly a failure, right? Everything happens for a reason. So whatever you feel like you failed in, you didn't, truly. It's about, so recognize those thoughts, right? And change them to say, no, this isn't gonna hold me back anymore, okay? And then the last one you have is triumph of lies. Yeah, so maybe there's lies that you've been telling yourself, right? Like, but I have to do this, or I meant to do this, or whatever the case is. Something that you're telling yourself, I mean, you're telling yourself lies. That's what I'm like hearing, is you're telling yourself some kind of lie about what you can and can't do in your career, in your ambitions, okay? And don't allow that to be the foundation. The foundation you need to build here is be a dreamer and let the past go. Let this go. Let, you know, disappointments go. Let it just move on and free yourself from so much of this. See, I think this Wands energy of just too much going on is this guilt that you're carrying, or this regret that you're carrying. Don't do that to yourself. You don't need to. You don't deserve to, okay? So let's see what self-care you can focus on to kind of help you with these mental foundations. What self-care can group 4 focus on mentally? Okay. Okay, so the one that flew out is journal. Absolutely. Journaling is so underrated, and it can be difficult if you don't like to write. I'm not a writer, but what can help with journaling is it can be a brain dump, it can be a list, it can be whatever way allows you to express yourself. But journaling is an extremely powerful tool because it allows you to see into your unconscious, right? So journal about these feelings, right? About this kind of regret, and understand it, because once you put it on paper and you read it, you understand it more, and you're like, oh, and then you can really understand and say, okay, I get it. But we're good, moving on. I want to be the dreamer now, right? And I really think that's how you're going to gain your new perspective, is just by kind of letting these things go, right? And moving into that new mindset of, it's a fresh start, let's go. And yeah, positive affirmations, right? So whatever hurt your pride, don't let it. Have the foundation of building positive affirmations for yourself. So if a job or school doesn't work out, so what? That doesn't mean that it's a reflection of you. It wasn't meant for you. So move on to something that ignites you, right? And excites you and makes you feel positive, okay? So tell yourself that you're smart and you're beautiful and you're amazing. Whatever you need to tell yourself, you build those positive affirmation foundation, okay? Because that's extremely important to help you overcome these fear-based mindsets that creep in, okay? That's what I'm hearing. So yeah, mentally, just have this awareness, right? Be able to journal about these feelings so you can get into this dreamer state. I think that's kind of like the overall message so far, right? As far as foundations wise, is gaining this new perspective is mainly what's needed of you so far right now. Let's dig into emotionally. Foundations needed. Okay. We have the High Priestess. That is great. You are feeling some really divine energy though within yourself, right? With the High Priestess. We have Judgment. We have the Sun. Look at these, holy shit. Major Arcana cards, look at that. 9 of Swords in reverse. Emotionally, you're doing awesome, it looks like. Yeah, 3 of Cups. And then the Page of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you're doing pretty good emotionally overall. It seems like foundationally, you do have actually a lot of positive self-talk, or at least some positive things emotionally, right? Like you accept yourself emotionally, you work with yourself emotionally with the High Priestess, right? Judgment and Sun, Enlightened, right? Like you have a lot of people in your life who support you emotionally with the 3 of Cups. 9 of Swords, you know, in reverse, you don't feel like you're attacked, right? Like these are people kind of being kind of terrible I can never pick things up sometimes with these nails. You know, there's people that are kind of like trying to be mean to this poor girl, and she's just feeling so like beat down, right? But it's in reverse. So emotionally, I think you're feeling pretty on top of it, which is great to hear. Because, you know, I know it's hard when you're dealing with trying to get this new perspective, but emotionally, you're in a really good place. So yeah, let's kind of, I'm curious to see what other adjustments are required, okay? Yeah, again, it's just the adjustments of the Hanged Man, right? I mean, positive affirmations, like we talked about, like make sure that is a strong foundation. I feel like, you know, again, you're pretty solid emotionally as far as your foundations go, but I think your affirmations will still be important. I think that's the adjustment you're talking about here. A personal issue reaches resolution, okay? So if you've been feeling emotionally like something's kind of like, you know, with Page of Swords in reverse, kind of boggling you down, seems to be just a little inconvenience, know that it's coming to a resolution, okay? So no need for foundation there. It's just kind of being aware that it's coming to an end. Be bold and make the first move. A fiery climax approaches. Yeah, emotionally, it seems like there's something coming your way, okay? That is beautiful emotionally. I think it's the new start. It's the new perspective with the Hanged Man. And so a fiery climax approaches in the sense, something's getting exciting, okay? You're about to gain this new perspective, this whole new insight on life and the way that you see things. And that's pretty intense. So as you're really getting into this perspective, be bold. The universe favors the bold, because don't allow fear to control you, right? Allow yourself to be free. And so a climax is coming where exciting things are coming. So get yourself, you know, grounded and, you know, figure out what adjustments do need to be made. But emotionally, you're doing pretty well, it sounds like, which is great. But let's see, you know, some self-care you can do emotionally that might help. What self-care can group 4 focus on emotionally? Okay. We have spend time with friends, which I think makes sense with the 3 of Cups, right? Like you have a lot of friends that are in your life who make you feel great, right? Who make you emotionally feel great. So spend time with them. You know, that's a foundation you have, and I love how there's 3 here and 3 here, right? But it's spend time with your friends, have that foundation. It really helps you emotionally, okay? We have make a vision board. Yeah, I think make a vision board, you know, of how you want to see your life, and emotionally that's just going to make you feel excited, right? It's putting you into that full perspective, right? The Hanged Man perspective, and getting you excited about life, making you feel excited that you're moving forward, okay? You won't be afraid to be bold if you envision what you want for your life, okay? So make a vision board, absolutely. 33 is an angel number as well. And then we have pleasure. Yeah, so connect to your womb, that came up too. Is it here? Yeah, connect to your womb and pleasure. Yeah, so I think that's really important, is connecting to your divine feminine energy, right? Pleasuring yourself, emotionally caring about yourself, right? I think is an important thing because it came up twice. Not that connecting with your womb has to be, you know, pleasure, but that's connecting to your divine energy. That is the most important part here, okay? So foundationally, I would say your friends are a really big, important part, you know, of your emotional well-being, but as well as yourself, obviously. So I think just keep focusing on, you know, being excited about life, remember that full energy, and loving yourself, okay? And investing in people who make you feel good emotionally. Cool. All right, lastly, we'll get into spiritually, what you can focus on. All right, we have Three of Swords, Queen of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. So what I'm getting, spiritually, you know, the foundations that you need to work on is just maintaining your balance. That's what I'm seeing, is maintain your balance. Go towards your ambition though with the Queen of Wands, right? Follow your ambitions, follow that vision board, follow what it is that you want, okay? Because that is extremely important for your spiritual ascension. Follow what it is you want, follow your vision. You are a queen, okay? The Hierophant, right? Yeah, let's see what the other cards say, because that can help, because that's all I'm really feeling. Okay, we have the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Okay, so I think this is just to remind you that if there's anything that happens in your life where you're like, just remember to have the foundation of telling yourself, it's happening for me, not to me. Yep. I'm sorry, defensiveless, righting past wrongs. Yeah, see, again, like we talked about with the physical, right? Like you feel, or the emotional, I guess it was. Or not the emotional, the mental. Oh my gosh, I'm confusing myself. The mental, yeah, it was a mental. Feeling like you regretted something, right? How we talked about that in here. Where are ya? Yeah, guilty regret, right? How we've talked about that you're regretting something, you know. Say you're sorry to yourself. I think like that's the thing, right? Is like, you don't need to hold on to this guilt. And so I think in general, focusing on forgiving yourself and forgiving other people is an important foundation spiritually, but I think it's about forgiving yourself, okay? Righting your wrongs, yeah. But people in general too, I would say if, you know, having the awareness of being able to apologize when you need to is an important foundation to have, right? But also apologize to yourself, okay? I think it goes both ways. We have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Yeah, build the foundation of you're your own nurturer, okay? Take care of yourself, love yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Your soul, I think, is pretty independent. There's a lot of single here, right? Pretty independent, even though you have a lot of people who love you, obviously your friends. I think just Star Mother, like how can you mother yourself? How can you nurture yourself? That's a spiritual foundation that's really needed from you, okay? Star Family, you're part of a team of souls. Call in support. Yeah, so like, you know, we've talked about, like, I think friends are like such a big, important part of, I kind of like that better, because friends, I think, is such an important part of your emotional well-being, right? But I think they're your soul family, right? And that's why you feel more, or Star Family, why you feel more, maybe soul family, but the point is you feel supported with them, right? So call in that support, because that's why they're there. That's why they've been connected to you, right? That's why you are energetically connected, because you're meant to help each other. And so when you're feeling stuck or unsure about something, call in their support. That's a foundation spiritually. Know that that's one way that you can get guidance or clarity or support, whatever you need, okay? Lost Lands, soul of memories and gifts. You've done this before. And we have the Seas of Minnetonka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to the light. I would check into that. I think Minnetonka, right? So you can look at Lemuria, Atlantis, right? These water-based planets. or not water-based planets, Atlantis obviously is here, but just these water-based kind of past lives, right? I think is important. You need to kind of retrieve these lost memories. So, and that could be connecting with some of these people, right? But I think the foundation here is connecting back to your soul, connecting back to those lost memories, building a foundation of connecting to that, okay? I think that's the important part here, for sure. It was really beautiful too. Love it, love it. You have a lot of love energy in your life for sure. A lot of support, which is amazing. All right, lastly, let's see then what self-care we can do spiritually. What self-care can Capricorn focus on spiritually? Thank you. Okay, we have drink tea. Okay, oh, sorry. Drink tea, yeah, I think drinking tea, right, connecting to a peaceful moment is an important foundation for your spirituality of being at peace. I think that's what this is saying, right? Because that's the drinking tea makes you feel relaxed. It makes you feel at peace. It helps your body, right? So I think that's important for you to build that foundation of self-care spiritually is connecting and drinking tea, right? There's some crystals here as well. And then we have chanting. This has come up in a few readings actually. It might have come up in all of them, which chanting is really powerful because it's the movement, right, of your voice. It's kind of like an inner hum, and it really moves the energy throughout your body, okay? So, but any type of grounding practice could be really important, right, for your spirituality, for your ascension. But chanting could be specifically important for you as well. So look into some different chanting options and really see, you know, what calls to you, okay? Yeah, but overall, I mean, the foundations, you know, that we really want to have you focus on is forgiving yourself, right? Building the foundation of being able to have that perspective of letting go of the past and allow that full energy to come in, okay? That's what I think the main foundation for you to focus on comes from. So, but overall, that's your reading. So this gave you a lot of beautiful insights. I really hope this helped you guys see what else you need to focus on for your foundations and your self-love for the month of February and beyond what you need to. But yeah, I'm really excited to see, you know, how this comes to fruition for you, and that Hanged Man and getting into that new like perspective, right, will be, I think, such a changing experience for you. So leave me a like and a comment and let me know how this resonated down below. But I really hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you guys next time.